Thursday afternoon to you. Sometimes you just can't remember what the day of the week is. That is for sure. You know, traditionally we've always said that this is the slowest time in sports. That's the kind of the all-star break of baseball in the summertime because baseball is the only thing that's going in the summertime. But then the WNBA came along, so we kind of had some games happening during this slow time of the year. But now the WNBA has officially adjourned for its all-star break. So this Thursday, July the 17th, is now officially the slowest sports day of the year. I don't know that there's any games going
Drag
on.
about we could go home.
Yeah, we could go home, yeah.
I would imagine.
Try to get out of here before the storms come rolling in.
Oh, boy. Are there more storms coming?
They kept saying through Thursday. They kept
okay.
saying through Thursday.
Okay. I hope it doesn't rain like it did all night the other night. I was actually trapped at the gym the other night. I couldn't leave because it was raining so hard. So there was a few of us in there, and like, oh, I guess we'll just kind of hang out here and get a few more reps in until this rain stops falling in sheets out here. Why not? A perfect reason to stay in the gym and get your train on just a little bit longer.
That's when you say, I guess this is my life now. I'm just a gym person. We're all best friends. We live here now. That's how this works.
Gym rats. Indeed. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. It is now official. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but the injury to Caitlin Clark the other night in the game in Boston against the Connecticut Sun and the re-injuring of her groin. We were wondering, well, does that mean she's not going to be a part of the All-Star festivities in her current hometown of Indianapolis, Indiana? And that is indeed the case. Caitlin Clark saying today that she will not play in the All-Star game. Kind of what we expected. There's really no way she was going to be able to be present for that event.
Do you think is more disappointing to fans,
playing?
Missing the game or missing the three-point contest?
I would say the game, just because we all know she can shoot threes and all of that, but I think you want to see her out there against the league's best players. At least that from my standpoint, I think that's what I would miss the most is those events, and those events are the events.
Yeah, we talked.
But
so
I like to see people actually playing, and I think in that game, it's not like it hasn't gotten to the point of the NBA yet where they don't really go out there and try to do a whole lot. I still think they try to play a hard type of game. So that's what I'm going to miss the most.
We all remember Craig Hodges, right? 21 shots in a row, that kind of thing. Like those moments that you create during that shootout, because it's the biggest event. It's become the biggest event of the NBA weekend and also WNBA. It's always been. Obviously, playing against your peers and measuring up. And as you said, DK, it may not be quite as a walkthrough as we see in the NBA side of things.
Right.
They're trying to take a couple of days off. I just know that in that building, surrounded by her own fans, watching her, try to shoot 30 balls off the rack and win the three-point contest is a big deal as well.
And the thing with the WNBA All-Star Game, if I'm not mistaken, they were going to bring back the 4-point spot, which was those little circles near midcourt range.
The actual game?
They call that the Clark.
Yeah, the Clark spot. The Clark spot, the logo shot, if you will. So the 4-point shot.
Is it sponsored by State Farm?
I don't know if it's sponsored by State Farm, but I imagine it would be a very easy advertising spot, if you were. But that one location seemingly was brought up because of Caitlin Clark's ability to shoot from beyond the range, and you see some other players. Sabrina Ionescu is another example of players that can shoot from that spot and potentially hit it, but it's one of those things where in the game you want to see who's daring enough to shoot from that location, and Caitlin's one of those where she just gets into that spot. She may as well just chuck it up because it's one of the spots that she seems to hit repeatedly when she's on a streak.
Yeah, this year. They put it in this year. It's from 28 feet out. There's 2 different circles, and they've also shortened the shot clock to 20 seconds. So they have less time to shoot the balls, and you're right. Who's going to be daring enough to go out there because it's risk-reward, right? You make that shot, you get extra point. But, yeah, 28 feet out.
The Fever lost last night without Caitlin Clark on the court, as we anticipated that they might, to the New York Liberty by a score of 98-77. So that was a huge loss for them going in, and we'll kind of see what happens on the other side of this All-Star break. Still going to be lots of stars of the game that'll be in Indianapolis for the weekend, and it should be fun. The festivities get going tomorrow, and then the game itself will be on Saturday. So there you have that. We'll get into that a little bit more as well, because we had a couple of bets on the line last night in the WNBA. We'll get to that when we get to our betting segment coming up a little bit later. The Mercury, of course, did not play last night. Their final game, they played yesterday afternoon. Not last night, but yesterday afternoon was their final game before the break. They lost on the road at Minnesota, so they'll go into the break 15-17. I'm sure they'll, again, a good rest by everybody. And then the second half of the season, they have played, 22 games? So I think they have 18 left, if I'm not mistaken, 18 games on the other side of the break to position themselves for the postseason. Playing well. They're one of the surprise teams in the WNBA, the Phoenix Mercury, with what they've been able to basically completely rebuild their roster. Is Brittany? I mean, we love Brittany, but has she done anything in Atlanta? I've heard very little about Brittany Griner.
I've seen a few big stat lines over the years. I'd have to look up and see actually what her stats are. I will say this: the Mercury guys had a 5-day break just last week.
Yeah.
Right? So you talk about the All-Star break's actually shorter than the July 9th to July 14 break they have between games, between the Lynx and the Valkyrie.
Yeah, so it's, it's a chance to rest up, and obviously they've been dealing with some injuries. They've been without their top two players for the last 3 games, and so you really got to keep an eye on that situation. I mean, they were able to win some big games, beating Minnesota at home and then going on the road and beating Golden State without Satu Sabali in the lineup, without Clea Copper in the lineup, but then losing yesterday on a back-to-back, on the second half of a back-to-back, without those two players, and Monique Koamakani, who was also out of yesterday's game. So you don't want to have to go too deep without your best players. So we'll kind of see. Obviously, Kalea's coming back from that injury she had that forced her to miss the majority of the first half of the season. And now the most recent entry to Satu Sabali, who's the kind of the big three with Alyssa Thomas this year. You want to get those players back in there so you're at full strength heading down the second half of the season.
Got your Brittany Griner update if you'd like it.
Oh, there we go.
10-6 on the season, so 10.6 rebounds. She has played in 20 out of 22 games, so it's been relatively healthy. They got a really balanced scoring. So Alicia Gray at 18, Ryan Howard at 16, Brianna Jones at 13, Jordan Canada at 10, and Griner at 10 as well. So doesn't look like they're really forcing the ball into her. But, at, what is she, 34, 35? Yeah. She's played a lot of basketball.
A lot of basketball for sure. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We've got a few interviews in the queue for you today. We're going to talk to Sebastian Pineda. He and FC Tucson are on the road right now and heading out to Southern California, Ventura, California. Ventura Highway in the sunshine. Yes, FC Tucson, 7-2-2. In the regular season, they will take on Almaden FC on Friday. That'll be tomorrow.
One more time.
Almaden FC. Almaden. Am I saying that correctly?
I don't know. I'm not familiar.
Almaden FC. I'm not even sure where that side. Well, they're from Northern California. That's right. I think they're from Alameda County, as a matter of fact. Almaden FC. Somewhere up there near San Jose, in that area there, is that particular soccer club, and so that's the team that FC Tucson will be playing in the first round of the USL League 2 playoffs on Friday night in Ventura, with a possible meeting with Ventura County if both teams advance to the second round. And, of course, that was a very good ball game that those two teams had here in Tucson just about a month ago, that FC Tucson won by a score of 2-1. Two best teams in the Southwest Division. We'll see if they can advance and play each other once again. Tucson Saguaros are home this weekend. We will get into them tomorrow, but they are, again, in a must-win situation. Bay Area is coming to town. That is the best team in the Western Conference, so it'll be interesting. Bay Area has already clinched a playoff spot, and so are they going to play all their guys? Are they going to rest guys? Do they want to come in here and and just lay it down on Tucson and try to knock them out of the playoffs? That remains to be seen. But one thing we know is that that's the best team that we've seen thus far in the IFL. So we'll see if they come in here with the hammer and try to knock out the Sugar Skulls, who must win their final 2 games to even have a shot, and they need to get some help as well along the way. We've been talking all week about the state of American men's tennis. We had a question of the day. Do you think that an American male is going to win a Grand Slam championship by the end of this decade? There are 17 tournaments left, 4 Grand Slams a year over the course of the next 4 years, and the U.S. Open this year, 17 tournaments left for an American male to have a shot to win a Grand Slam championship in this decade. The majority of you, I believe it was 80%, said that you do not think that that's going to happen. We'll talk to Gil Gross from the Tennis Channel. We've had Gil on the show before, and Gil, he hangs out here in Tucson from time to time. He's got some interest here in Tucson that bring him to our lovely locale. And so we'll talk to Gil and get his thoughts on where we stand, because we had this conversation with Gil 2 years ago when we first started this show about the state of American men's tennis. We'll get his thoughts on if he feels that we're in a better place now. We're on our way. We're getting closer. Most of you think we're not getting closer. But Taylor Fritz did. Did Taylor Fritz win anything at the ESPYs last night? He was there. I don't know.
Just the hearts of America.
He had on a pretty snazzy black outfit there. So
can we do a parlay poll question?
A parlay poll question?
Yeah. So how about Canadian team wins a Stanley Cup, or American male tennis player wins a major? What comes first?
what comes first?
Long droughts.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, that's a really good question. We should. We'll put that up.
It's unfair because the American men have 4 chances a year. Right?
I don't think we have one for today, so we might just make that today's question right there. Who will win a championship first? An American, or who will win first? American male in a Grand Slam tennis event, a Canadian city in the National Hockey League. I like that. Good job there, J-Dub. J-Dub coming up with the question of the day.
Well, the premise
on the fly.
Premise of us talking male tennis is I remember, as we talked a lot, is as a kid, American men dominated tennis, right? They won seemingly, 2 out of every 4. They won 2 a year. And it's been so long. So there was a synonymous nature of men's tennis around the globe and American being so dominant, all those names we talked about. So it just seems like a natural connection between hockey being born in Canada and them having such a long drought. What is it now, 23 years, something like that?
Yeah, 23 years. That is for sure. It's too long for as good as this country. And this, again, if it is, and this is the thing. When we talked and we said, and we read some of the comments from the tweet that was put out by that 70s Sports Twitter account, and a lot of people said it's become an elite American sport. Well, if that's the case, why aren't we producing elite kids to play it at a high level? That's what I want to know. Where are the elite level kids? The kids that actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. How come they haven't been able? How come we have not produced any of them to be able to go out and win a Grand Slam championship? Why hasn't that happened? If that's what it's become, if that's what people think it's become, where are those kids at? I mean, a connection to that is the fact that, and we've brought this subject up before, is the fact that the Arizona men's tennis team is majority international kids. Yeah. It's majority international kids. So not only do you have the issue of, kids not having enough money and maybe the middle class to lower classes to be able to play the sport, but apparently you're not the kids that have the money aren't even playing tennis. What are they doing? If you come from a family that makes over $500,000 a year annually, what are you doing if you're 12? Let's make this whole week about the 12-year-olds. Right? Let's make this whole week about the 12-year-olds.
You're asking your nanny to put
10,
less
12,
starch
11, 13-year-olds right now. If you're listening and your family makes and your mom and dad make over $500,000 a year, what are you doing sports-wise right now? What are you doing? And if tennis was something that you played when you were younger, why are you not playing it now? Why are you not playing at a high level?
League of Legends would be my guess.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball.
League of Legends, Dota,
What
Pokemon
is League
cards.
of Legends? Is that
It's
like
a video game.
It's a
Quidditch?
competitive video game. Yeah.
Is that like Quidditch?
No.
No, this is a real. This is real.
This is a
Come on,
very
yeah.
real thing that people get addicted to. In
Hundreds
most
of
cases.
thousands of people a day.
Mhm.
Yes.
Multiple thousands of hours.
And if I can't get the 12-year-olds, then I want you, the parent. You, the parent. If I'm serious, you, the rich parent out there. If you make over $500,000 a year, I want to hear from you. And your kid plays tennis, why haven't they progressed? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. I don't make over $500,000 a year, and I don't have any kids. So I can't answer this question for you. You have to tell me. You have to tell us why even the rich folks aren't producing kids that can win at tennis at a Grand Slam level. We'll ask Gil. We'll pose all of these questions to Gil Gross coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Perhaps he can help us get to the bottom of this as well. DK on the sports tip. Sebastian Pineda scheduled at 3:40. That'll be later this hour. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported Twin Peaks and Coachline Boulevard and Twin Peaks. Also Wilmot and Speedway Boulevard and Wilmot. A little bit of slowing at that intersection. 15% chance of rain this afternoon, 77 the low, 101 tomorrow and 96 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
Bobby Bones here with some easy trivia. What does the Staples Easy button say? That was easy. Boom. I mean, that was easy. You knew that, right? And now you know to press it for prints, shipping, and even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. I see you, Staples. That was easy.
Did you miss the big game?
They need a 3 to get to overtime.
You know we got you covered.
Midcourt, shot is up. Good! Love has hit a 3. We're going to overtime.
Trying to keep it close, and you never give up. I guess that's life in the Big 12.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Ever wish you could get advice from your future self?
Psst. Hey, you, present self.
Huh? Who said that?
It's me. I mean you, from 40 years in the future.
Future me? Wow.
Look, there's no time. The most important thing you need to do right now is go to Tobacco Barn.
Tobacco Barn? Why?
We could have saved a fortune.
What are you talking about?
At Tobacco Barn, you save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. 40%! Do you know how much that adds up to over 40 years?
40%? Wow, that's a lot.
And get this, you pay no city or state sales tax. It's basically free money. Plus, there's a $3 coupon available at tobaccobarntucson.com.
A $3 coupon? No sales tax, 40% off. Why didn't you tell me sooner, future self?
By the way, when you meet a girl named Charlene, don't ask her to marry you.
I already did.
Oh, crud.
Don't wait for your future self to tell you. Save today at Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, 1 mile south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/music. That's ethos.com/music.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We have now made it live. Head on over to Twitter at Wildcats1290. Today's question of the day: what will happen first? Canadian Stanley Cup win? U.S. Grand Slam tennis win? I probably need to redo this because I didn't put male on there, so I'm going to have to redo that because people will vote and think they can vote for women there.
Well, Serena has 600 Grand Slam titles in the last 15 years, right?
Right. So I'm going to have to. So don't go to Twitter just yet because I'm going to have to redo that. I didn't put the men's part in there, so I got to delete that one and put it back up again. All right, we'll get that back up for you in the next break, though. 520-848-1290. One question I want to ask about this, though, and as it relates to kids that grow up with privilege, and when I say that, I'm talking about kids who grow up with money, who have the ability to play some of the quote money sports like tennis, like golf, and we said it's been 23 years, so we're going back to 2002. When did Tiger Woods win his first major? That would have been
mid-90s.
That was the mid to late 90s, right?
Well, the one I remember
97.
The one I remember was when he was like 14 under at the U.S. Open, and the next best was at 1 over. Remember that one?
Yeah.
That was the big coming out party, I think.
1997, he won the Masters. I wonder if there's more affluent youngsters in this country that are playing golf because of the fact that maybe they fell in love with that the Tiger Woods phenomenon between 1997 and 2010, and more of those kids are playing golf than might have played tennis, even though we still had really good tennis players during that time. I mean, that was the time of the late 90s that you still had Agassi, you still had Roddick, you still had Pete Sampras. All those guys played into the early 2000s, but I just wonder if the phenomenon that was Tiger Woods at that particular time siphoned off a lot of American kids from playing tennis and had them picking up golf clubs instead.
I mean, I don't know necessarily if that's the case, because if that was so, then we would have been winning a lot more Ryder Cups than we had in the last couple of years. Because if you look at it from the standpoint of, again, you talk about the beginning of the Tiger Woods phenomenon, his first major win was in 97. So if you really want to think about it, the first generation of the Tiger Woods kids growing up being like, I want to be the next Tiger, would probably started popping up roughly around the 2010s or so to really have the dedicated pros. In the 2010s, you didn't get a single win in the Ryder Cup between the U.S. and Europe until 2016. So I don't know necessarily if that was the fact of kids were gravitating more towards golf than it was tennis. It might be something else related to that, but I don't know about tennis losing traction because golf got more popular because of the Tiger effect.
There's been like three dominant tennis players since that era, right? We got Federer first, then it was Rafi, right, for a bit, and then Djokovic. So those three guys have basically dominated men's tennis. I don't know that a lot of people have won a lot of tennis majors outside of those three from any country. Is another factor as well. They've been they were so dominant for so long. Federer seemed like he won everything for a stretch.
All right, so now you can go back to Twitter. I corrected it. Now you can go back to Twitter and vote at Wildcats1290. What will happen first? Canadian Stanley Cup win, because the Canadians, how long is that, J-Dub? 2000?
I think it's 23, 24 years. I have to look it up.
So both of them. So both of these are around the same length of time.
Yeah, you would have to go ahead and go all the way back to 1993. That was when the Montreal Canadiens.
So that's
last
even
won the
longer.
Cup. Yeah,
so that's 10 years longer than the Grand Slam thing. So a Canadian Stanley Cup win in the NHL or a U.S. male major tennis win. What will happen first? Head on over right now to Twitter at Wildcats1290. That is our question of the day for today. We can also wrap up a couple of others. We had our question of the day yesterday, which is wrapped up, and we had our question of the week, which has wrapped up as well. Let's start with yesterday's question, which was, did you like the home run swing-off to finalize the MLB All-Star Game? I said I liked it. Fellows said they didn't really like it. 80% of you said it was a hit. 80% said it was a hit. Only 20% said no, it was a strikeout. So I think the majority of the people got a kick out of that. The Major League Baseball has finally done something right with the All-Star Game. At least it's still polarizing, this particular game, but it seems like there was the majority of folks. Even I heard Jim Rome talking about it today as well. He thought that it was the right way to end that game on Tuesday night. So there you go. Also, then our question of the week from last week, which entailed your Arizona football team and how many wins the Arizona football team is going to get this year. And I said yesterday I probably should have put the 6 on a higher line than I did, because obviously it takes 6 wins to go to a bowl game in college football. So I have the 6 on the bottom line with the 4 and the 5. So 53% in the end of people said that they believe Arizona will win either 4 games, 5 games, or 6 games this year. That was the top vote category. 29% believed it'll be 7, 8, or 9 wins. If we can get to that, it's going to be a really fun year here in Southern Arizona. 18% said 1, 2, or 3. So there is a segment of about 20% of the people that don't think this Arizona football program is going to be very good at all. And surprisingly, nobody. I thought maybe at least one person would say 10-plus wins. No? Maybe one person might believe that this team is going to be a whole lot better, that this team might be the reincarnation of last year's Arizona State Sun Devils. Nobody thinks this team will win 10 or more games.
Speaking of the Sculpt North, did you ban all the URLs that are from Tempe, because that could influence the voting?
I did not. I don't ban anything.
Okay.
We don't do any banning.
I know many people who like to go on their rivals' polls and make sure their voice is heard. That's all.
I've been doing it for years when it relates to Browns
I bet you
content
have,
for a
I'm
long
sure
time.
What? What are you talking about? Well, since you went to football, TJ Watt got paid today.
Oh, certainly did.
He keeps getting paid. This is like not the first time he's gotten paid recently.
This is the second time in his career he has become the highest non-quarterback to be in regards to salary in the NFL. So, I mean, he's got the in. He certainly got the in negotiations with the with the Steelers and Mr. Khan there. So I'm interested to see how he plays out with this contract.
Are we ready to have the question of the day? Who's better, J.J. Watt or T.J. Watt?
That's got to be Steelers Browns week. We can't do that right now. That'll be Steelers Browns week.
Can T.J. jump out of a pool?
Oh yeah, really. I don't know.
I don't know what he's
video or it didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got I don't think he's got the BJ Penn jump out the pool workout yet.
3 years, $123 million is the extension. It includes $108 million fully guaranteed at signing because, in football, it is all about the signing bonus. $41 million per year average, the highest of any non-quarterback in NFL history, T.J. Watt.
That's good for a 17th highest paid player in the NFL, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Highest paid non-quarterback, also the 17th highest. What does that tell you? The 16 quarterbacks make a lot of money.
Yep. And all I know is that the Cowboys are screaming because now Micah Parsons' contract negotiations just got a lot harder.
You think? Just a bit harder. The other big news today on the slowest sports day of the year is your president of the United States is weighing in on college athletics. President Donald Trump is considering an executive order that would require federal authorities to clarify whether college athletes can be considered employees of their schools, according to a draft that was obtained this week by ESPN. The draft calls on Secretary of Labor and National Labor Relations Board to determine and implement the appropriate measures with respect to clarifying the status of collegiate athletes. The draft states the employment status of college athletes should maximize the educational benefits and opportunities schools can provide through their athletic departments. We had a chance today. We were over at campus. We had a chance. I had not been to campus in probably a month or so. It's like every time you go away from it, and it's cool. We spend so much time on campus. You kind of feel like you got to get away from it for a while and not really go over there and not see anything. But it's like and then you make that first drive back on when you haven't done it in a while, and you're like, man, you get that feel of college again. And it was it's not a lot happening right now, but there are people walking around. There's things happening. Obviously, a lot of the sports teams are back. You've got the women's basketball team was in there. It was loud, but when we walked out, we were over there because and you'll hear it coming up later. We had a chance to talk to Jayden Bradley and Anthony Dell'Orso from the men's basketball team today. And coming out of that press conference, the women were practicing on the main floor at McHale Center, and it was loud in there. I mean, it was loud. They were screaming. They were yelling. It's as enthusiastic in person as what you've been seeing in the videos that they've been posting on their social media platforms. And Becky Burke, who we had on the show, if you missed our interview with Becky Burke, head on over to our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. Download our app. We talked to Becky on, I believe it was Tuesday, 2 days ago, and got kind of her assessment of where the program is, how she's starting to lay the bricks, and how, as she and her staff have coined, how we've started to roll up our sleeves, bear down, sleeves up. And I literally stuck my head in for about 30 seconds, but that was what I got. That was the essence of what I got. Bear down, sleeves up. They're in there working hard. And
Bring
that's
your
what
lunch
you
pail.
want to see. Yeah, that is exactly what you want to see from this women's basketball program under their new leader, Becky Burke. So we will hear coming up a little bit later, 4:40-ish. We'll let you hear the first part of the press conference, and we'll take you through that today. Anthony Dell'Orso, who went back home to Australia, spent some time over there. I asked him the first thing he has to do when he goes back home. You'll hear Anthony tell you what he loves to do when he gets back over. He kind of slipped in this one phrase, and I don't know if a lot of people caught it. We'll let you hear that as well. And Jayden Bradley, who talks about really the disappointment of losing to Duke in the postseason last year, and how that's really kind of been in his craw and part of what's driven him this offseason. And it was interesting because I don't know that anybody thought that Arizona played bad in that game. I mean, they played well. I just thought, I think most of us can agree that Duke was probably a better basketball team than Arizona. But again, when you play at that level and you play to win, even losing to a team that you feel like might be better than you, that sticks in you. That sticks in you, and that drives you. And that's what you want. You want the guys that came back, the Anthony Dell'Orsos, the Jayden Bradleys, those guys to have an anger about not being able to get by Duke in that second game and to use that as a driving point into this coming season. So we'll hear from those two guys coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. FC Tucson has a big weekend over in Southern California. Sebastian Pineda will join us next to talk about that. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and weather together. Collisions reported River Road near Campbell on River to the west of Campbell, near Via Entrada, Grant Road and First Avenue, Twin Peaks and Coachline Boulevard in Twin Peaks, and also Speedway and Wilmot. With a 15% chance of possible for rain this afternoon, 77 the low and 96 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
People always say, Ryan, why don't you take it easy? Relax a little bit. Well, that's what the Staples Easy button is for. Just press it for quality products, friendly experts, and services like print, travel, or shipping, because we can't do it all. All right, guys? Thanks, Staples. That was easy.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart strategy does. Cumulus digital campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by over 25%. You're not average, and your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to leave average behind.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
A Cinco de Mayo party tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Maybe I'll see if I can get somebody to come in and maybe do some mixology. And
it's just sweet and sour that we're drinking on air, right? Like there's no actual adult cocktails in there.
Whatever.
Mocktails.
Exactly.
Insert
Mocktails.
Big wink, nudge, nudge.
DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy, we live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one, he's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at alaskanac.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Since 1956, El Torero has been serving up authentic Sonoran-style Mexican cuisine in the heart of historic 4th Avenue right here in Tucson. Family owned and operated for nearly 70 years, this South Tucson staple is where tradition meets flavor. Home of the best green corn tamales in town. El Torero's recipes have stood the test of time, offering a true taste of Tucson's rich culinary heritage. From their classic patty tacos to refreshing margaritas and cold beer, every bite and sip tells a story of family and flavor. El Torero, more than a restaurant, it's a tradition. Visit them today on historic 4th Avenue and experience the taste of Tucson.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from El Torero. You can get a $50 El Torero gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
I'm Bill Ryder, the Sports Minute. ESPN's phenomenal and insightful story on Joel Embiid highlights all the things that we knew. He's long been injured, he's been disappointing in terms of what he's accomplished, and he's a guy that longs for respect and for the championships that have eluded him. But the story also shows a human being struggling with pressure and doing his best to live the best life that he can. And in this story, maybe the biggest headline of all is that Joel Embiid is worth rooting for. I'm Bill Ryder.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
FC Tucson on the road to begin the USL League 2 postseason. They were Western Conference champions last year. They were to do that primarily at home. They'll have to go on the road, though, to win it this year. It starts this weekend in Ventura, California. Actually starts tomorrow night, tomorrow late afternoon, actually, against Almaden FC over in Ventura County in the first round, the round of 32. Pleased to be joined by the head coach of your FC Tucson men's side. His name is Sebastian Pineda. And Sebastian, you guys are on the road right now. How far are you to California?
Yeah, we are 3.5 hours away. Almost there. Long day for us.
Almost there. Now, do you have to drive the bus, or do you have somebody that does that for you?
No, well, us, the staff, we have to drive the minivan. So it's a long day for us, too, yeah.
I bet it is. I bet it is. Back in the postseason, obviously, a lot of success last year. I mean, you as the head coach, you had obviously played on those previous PDL teams that had a chance to win Western Conference championships and could never get that final victory. What did that mean for you as the head coach to finally accomplish that goal for this organization last year?
To get to the stage, as you said, I always got stuck during that game before the Final Four, but I think that whatever we're doing right now as a club, as an organization,
we may have lost. Yeah, are you there? Are you there? We lost you for a minute, Sebastian. Go ahead.
Can you hear me there?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, God. So just saying that the postseason is something that we
You know, we've got Sebastian. Sebastian, I think we've got a little bit of an in and out connection depending on where you are. right now. Why don't we let's see if we can maybe try to reconnect with you guys when you get a little bit further along, possibly to a better spot.
Okay, sounds good.
Outstanding. All right, that's Sebastian Pineda, the head coach. Well, they are, in fact, as you can hear it, they're traveling right now. A little bit of a bad cell area there where they were, so we'll see if we can reconnect with them when they get back to a little bit of a better location there.
You ever driven a minivan Dragon Ball from Tucson to? I've driven from here to Gilroy in one shot. From here to Gilroy.
I used to make the trip up and down from Flagstaff to Tucson on my own a lot of times when I was going to college. I think probably the furthest I've ever actually driven, probably myself, would have to be, I think there was one time I made a trip out to San Diego, but that was about it. That was about as far as I've ever made on a drive on my own. And naturally.
In a minivan.
In a minivan. I usually only drive in the SUVs and minivans and stuff like that. I tend to find that those are the best are the best travel vehicles just because there's a lot more space.
By yourself, in big van.
Yeah, by myself, big van. I usually got all my school
you can
books
stretch
and
out.
I know this isn't I'm not here. This isn't a brag, but I did Tampa. Was the furthest drive I've ever done.
Nice.
From here to Tampa, and that was a little unnerving towards the end because it got pretty late, but there was nobody on the roads. It's amazing. Like, you get to that part of Florida and you expect there to be infinite people, but it was weird. 2-3 a.m. or whatever, nobody there.
Oh yeah.
520-848-1290 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. I do want to get in a little bit more. We were talking before the break just on what has transpired today in terms of the President of the United States putting a little bit of his foot into college athletics, trying to make some changes, initiate some changes, potentially with an executive order. We mentioned that's what this would be, an executive order. Among the other things that are said to be in this executive order, it's to cover athlete compensation is one, antitrust protection, athlete employment, as we talked about, state law uniformity, and Olympic sport participation. The draft, though not believed to be a final version, is expected to align closely with the order that President Donald Trump has long been exploring and offers a window into his thinking. This draft was initially provided today to Yahoo Sports by 3 different congressional sources, all confirming that the document is believed to have originated from the White House. The draft, in fact, is called Saving College Sports. Saving College Sports. If you have thoughts on this, we'd like to hear from you. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Among the aspects primarily directing the Attorney General and Federal Trade Commission to implement would be provide college leaders with protection from antitrust laws around the long-term availability of scholarships and opportunities for athletes, prevent unqualified and unscrupulous agents from representing college student athletes. That's something we've been trying to do for a long, long time. Support uniformity by presumably preempting by varying name, image, and likeness state law. So these are just among the things that a potential presidential executive order would look to do in terms of getting a handle on college athletics. Now, it was interesting. We heard from Rich Rodriguez last week, the former head coach of the Arizona Wildcats and now head football coach at West Virginia. And one of the things he said was he felt like the only way we were going to at least get to a point where we can get our hands around revenue sharing and this new way in college athletics was through some type of congressional action.
Well, I mean, if anybody paid attention to the Big 12 Media Days last week for football, every single coach had the same answer when asked about the situation with transfer portal, NIL, and considering student athletes as employees. And they all said uniformity. They all said, we just want common ground where everybody's playing under the same rules and we have a rule set. So, DK, like you just said, it's really hard these days with so many voices at the table to really have a consensus among everybody of how do you get that done. And it may have to come from Washington. Because the Johnson versus NCAA case is what was settled 1 year ago this week. It was the 11th of July last year. And that's the one that affords student athletes to be potentially employees. And then, of course, you've got collective bargaining, unions, and all that thing. But more than anything, there just has to be a natural, consistent rule set for everybody to be on the same page and everything be above board. Because otherwise, you have a situation where you're rooting for teams that have zero chance, right? Because the deck is stacked, and nobody wants that.
And the thing is that even with this discussion about some kind of executive order or something along those lines coming out of the White House, it would appear that the idea that we want uniformity isn't necessarily 100% on the table, because there's a lot of these folks from the big college conferences that didn't know this was even something in the pipeline.
Right.
SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey just said, I hadn't heard anything related to that up to this point, but I guess the president's going to do what he's going to do. It's a situation where it's not a great look, because we've also got the reports a couple days ago or something related to that. Oh, well, we're now going to go to just pure sugar canes, sugar in Coca-Cola. And the company never made a response saying, we never agreed to that. We never said yes or no. We're looking into the conversation. If there's going to be uniformity, maybe present what you're trying to bring forward to the commissioners and say, what about the language presented here is good or bad for you?
The problem is cane sugar is grown outside of the U.S. and corn is grown inside of the U.S. And there's a big tariff thing going on these days. So
yes,
that might not work out exactly that way. I think whatever happens in college athletics, you just mentioned the SEC. I mean, talking about deck being stacked, David Kelly, the Big Ten and SEC right now have 3 aces, and they're just looking for the 4th. Right. So it's a situation where some of these other leagues, we just saw the dissolving of the Pacific 12 conference guys just happened. And that's a big money revenue. That's a big television money for football thing. As far as all the conferences, at least the major conferences, all having some kind of equal opportunity to recruit players, to get coaches paid, to get a good product on the field, and then have a true national champion. Otherwise, we're just talking about regional champions. You're talking about the champion of, the Great Lakes area and the champion of, the Gulf area. So it's like, it really just depends on what you're talking about. But everybody has to find a way to work together and play together for the sake of the fans. That's what we're talking about.
Among the things that this order is supposed to have in it, according to these congressional sources, is a line in which the president states that in the inability to maintain rules will destroy what Americans recognize today as college sport, and it's the policy of my administration that college sports should be preserved. That is what is said to have been in this draft that was leaked today by several congressional sources to Yahoo Sports.
Preserved, it's the ship sailed, right? NIL's a thing. So it's like preserved. Traditionally, that would mean, guys, preserved being maintaining the amateurism.
Right.
Right? But if preserved in this case just means that it keeps going, I don't know that it's not going to ever stop going. I think people will always have college athletics. The question is, where's the balance? Where is the fairness above board of all these different programs competing against each other? Because, again, if it just comes into a regional thing, then you're going to have a lot of people in Arizona, California, Oregon, who don't really have a place at that table.
All right, Steve Berman is one of the co-lead plaintiff attorneys that he was on the House settlement, which just came down this past month, the House versus settlement, which involved the young man, the student athlete from Arizona State, who sued over name, image, and likeness. Here's what Steve Berman had to say in a statement to Yahoo. He called a potential executive order unwarranted, described it as flouting the president's own philosophy of the supposed art of the deal. Steve Berman goes on to say, plain and simple, college athletes don't need President Donald Trump's help, and he shouldn't be aiding the NCAA at the expense of athletes. Berman's statement went on, step back, Mr. President. These fabulous athletes don't need your help. Let them make their own deals. And the Supreme Court, with your appointee, Justice Kavanaugh, condemned the NCAA's compensation rules as a violation of the antitrust laws. Why give them immunity, Mr. President, in light of that ruling. That was a statement from Steve Berman, who was one of the lead attorneys on the recent House settlement case.
It's like $2.8 billion, right? I think it was back to 2016, the settlement to pay back athletes. Yeah.
So thoughts on that? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Would you like to see the president involved in trying to help figure out what this next phase of college athletics is going to be? Or should, as we mentioned earlier, should it be more of a congressional level of input, as Rich Rodriguez indicated last week at Big 12 Media Day?
I remember the first time I saw Donald Trump was on like early 80s Rich and Famous shows. I don't remember in all that time ever hearing any affiliation with any school or conference. So maybe we should find out what kind of conference or school his rooting interests are before any kind of decision-making goes down, because that could be SEC or Big Ten that, again, get the benefit of the doubt.
I don't know that I've ever seen or heard him associated with one school.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know, in a long, because I don't think did he go to college?
Yeah, no, of course, yeah.
He did?
Yeah, I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure.
I have no
exactly.
idea. Well, see, and there you go. I mean, you would think that a lot of times we know where the president of the United States went to college.
Yale, and
exactly.
Harvard.
Right. Pretty much those schools are usually
It's got to be something in New York, like New York University or something like that.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, if
he's
if
got
it
a big
is,
footprint in New York.
Yeah, if it is, I'm not sure that it's a very large school. It appears he's connected to Fordham, is one school, University of Pennsylvania. I don't know if those were undergrad years potentially, but that's. Did receive a BS from the University of Pennsylvania in 1968, did Donald Trump. So he's a Quaker. There you go.
How's the Rams football program these days? Fordham. We'll look into that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Fordham's football program.
I imagine it's probably around the same reign as Howard.
All right,
yeah,
we're late getting to this break. Dragon Ball has got everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona and around the world.
Well, Arizona men's basketball is still a ways away from being on the court, but they're already prepping for the hardwood for the 2025-26 season with a lot of young faces, 6 incoming freshmen for this year's roster. But returning guard Anthony Dell'Orso says this team's chances of remaining a physical unit on defense is going to be something to keep intact, even with the incoming freshmen.
I mean, I think we were pretty physical last year, and then you go against a team like Houston and teams that are kind of pride themselves on that physical aspect, and you kind of really see like where you match up. And it's great we got guys returning that kind of have that experience and kind of know what to expect. And then it's great, like you said, the freshmen coming in. Also, these guys are big bodies and they haven't even lifted weights yet. So I think it's all just going to take time to kind of fall together. So guys really understand like how they can kind of use their abilities for the benefit of the team. But I mean, it'll be exciting once we start. I mean, I'm not sure on a difference as of now. I think it's too early to say, but it'll be exciting when the season starts.
Again, reminder that the Red and Blue Showcase is set for October the 3rd. Do check with the McHale ticket office to see if you can get a seat for the show then. Mercury star Sato Sabally looks to be unable to return to the court for this year's WNBA All-Star game after the ankle injury continues to cause her issues. This is Sabally's first season with the Mercury and would have been her 3rd invite to the festivities, but she will be reportedly shut down for the game coming up on Saturday. The Mercury will still be represented, though, by Alyssa Thomas, who has had a stellar contribution to this season as well for the squad. And the biggest contract for a non-QB has officially been signed, and it belongs to Steelers star pass rusher T.J. Watt. The two sides agree on after a standstill in contract negotiations. Watt was entering the final year of his current deal, but the two sides agree on a 3-year, $123 million extension that will give Watt $108 million fully guaranteed. This marks the second time that T.J. Watt has become the highest-paid non-QB in the NFL as the 30-year-old enters his 9th year in the NFL. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
Bounce pass, a Walker, slam it home.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. River Road near Campbell. Crash occurred there. River west of Campbell. River and Via Entrada. Eastbound backups on River approaching Via Entrada. Westbound I-10 Irvington off-ramp closed for road work. You can exit westbound I-10 at Alvernon or Ajo Kino instead. There's a 15% chance of some rain this afternoon, 77 the low, 101 tomorrow, 96 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal. Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal is here with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich and small Fuego fries inspired by Takis Fuego chips with a 1-ounce Takis Fuego bag and a drink. Grab yours today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's while supplies last. Takis and Fuego are used under license.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, we offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
It may only be summer, but Arizona football can't get here soon enough.
Rosano got a hole inside the 40, jumps to the left of the 30, down to the 25 to the 20, still going.
Catch Kedrick Risano and the Cats all season long right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
The American Red Cross is asking you to give blood or platelets now. Type O blood donors are especially needed. Your donation could make a difference for a patient in need. Use the Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to book your donation today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hear that? That's what having fewer hot flashes and night sweats can sound like. Veoza is the #1 prescribed hormone-free treatment FDA approved for moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms, also known as hot flashes and night sweats, due to menopause. Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We talk Diamondbacks baseball daily.
Overall, inside of our culture, it's built on love, trust, commitment, and effort. And I think love is the glue to all of it.
Love, trust, commitment, and effort. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our show. Glad you could be with us. Get involved. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. All right, let's see if we can chat now with the head coach of FC Tucson, Sebastian Pineda. They are on the road to Southern California, where they're going to open up the postseason this weekend. And we had some trouble with Sebastian's connection in the last hour, but he is back with us now. Sebastian, I'll pick right up with the question that I had posed initially, and that was, what did it mean to you to kind of be the coach that got this franchise over the hump of winning a Western Conference championship last year?
No, it was, like I was saying, it was an amazing experience last year, getting that far, and of course all the credit to the players, but this year we're back at it. This group of players is very strong. They believe and they trust everything that we're doing with this club. So they know the importance and responsibility that we have going into Ventura, and we're ready for the challenge this weekend.
Now, I was at the game on Sunday. You guys had a lot of opportunities at the goal. So how did you evaluate that? Were you satisfied with, hey, we got good shots, and sometimes you're going to get good shots and they don't go in? Did you tell to the guys, yeah, we had good shots, but we could have been better at finishing those? How did you evaluate that last Sunday?
Overall, the players know it when the ball is not going in, you're happy. You're okay that you're creating the chance, but the ball has to go in. You got to score those chances. So everybody knew it after the game that it wasn't good enough. But, we believe in what we have in the attack in this team, and they have to go on and perform now in the playoffs, in the big games. So we have proved the whole year. There's a little bump on the road, and we continue to go. Yeah.
All right, so what allows you guys to get, like, in matches like that, what allows you to get all those chances on the goal?
Well, I think that is, of course, the quality of the players comes into play right there. That the players that we have the ability to create against teams that defend very low that the other team did. And then after that, we got certain structures and principle of play that we want to try to do on the field, and the guys are doing it. So they're creating the chances. And, of course, at this point of the season, they know their strengths and weaknesses as players, as teammates, and they exploit those consistently. Yeah.
FC Tucson head coach Sebastian Pineda is our guest. The guys will take on Almaden FC, I should say, Friday night in the first round of the postseason. They're from Northern California. How much do you know about them? Obviously, a team that you did not play this year. What do you know about that side and the way they play the game?
Well, nowadays, luckily for us, we got all the video that we can get, so we have done some scouting, and we have a general idea how they like to play. It's a team that has good players that are from that area that play at a good level in college. So we expect a very competitive game, and they have their players in the attack that are very athletic, so we'll be prepared for it. But we have fully trust in what we're trying to do, and I know the guys will show up in the big moments, and we'll take care of business on Friday, 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Now, Sebastian, you're a pretty busy guy because not only do you coach FC Tucson, but you are still an assistant on the Arizona Women's Club too, as well, correct?
Yeah, I'm with the women's at the U of A. Yes.
So how do you manage the two of those? Because I'd imagine you got to be out recruiting as well during this time of the year, no?
Yeah. Well, it's with Becca Morrow there, we have a great relationship, and she understands that this opportunity for me in my career is great. So, we come to little agreements here and there where I don't go, I go. And then once it's fully here in August, now we're about to start full preseason, and it's 100% mode trying to make it to the national tournament at that level. So busy, but, can't complain. It's football. This is something that is my passion. So,
are there differences for you coaching the boys versus coaching the girls?
Yeah, it's 100%. It's different. Different nuances to the game. How the women perceive the game, how the guys do it, the cultural part of it, and the way that you coach, the way that the women receive the information, that they try to do it, and that the guys are a little bit more, they go freely a little bit more, I would say so. But the way that we're approaching coaching is very similar in terms of the standard, the intensity, what we're gonna get out of the players for the game. So that's what I would say.
Sebastian Pineda joining us, head coach of the FC Tucson men's side, also an assistant coach for Arizona women's soccer. What's your specialty in terms of when you're at U of A? Do you have a certain thing that you coach?
Yeah, well, it's mainly the defensive side of things, just with the back line and all the stuff, and then I'm also in charge of all the video analysis for the team post and pre-game. Yeah.
Speaking of defense, obviously, you guys didn't score any goals last Sunday, but you also didn't allow any goals. I've interviewed a number of the guys on the team this year. Had a chance to talk to Daniel Idiokoa earlier in the year, and it seems like he's one of those guys, man. He's feisty to the ball and making sure he can stop opposing players when they're trying to get in close. What has he added to your side this year?
Yeah, Dan has been a great player to have overall this summer. I think that the role that he plays in college are a little bit more of attacking, and here in the summer I've asked him to do a little bit more of both. But he has raised to the occasion and has been big in a lot of games, and just in terms of winning duels down the middle and facilitating the players around him to progress the ball forward. So just brings different abilities to the table that has helped us be where we're at right now.
And we're very used to seeing DeAndre Pickett at the front end of the field as a forward, obviously in college, high school. You've been playing him a lot as a defender. Why that switch, and what makes him a young man who can transition to the backside?
Well, I never seen him playing high school, so I only know him as a defender, and that's where he has been with me for 3 years with academy and everything, and that's where we have developed him and just help him with little details of that position. And of course, when now that he's at the ACC level, he's going also to play a center back role. So I think that in high school they needed his ability on top, but I think to continue for his career, he's definitely a defender.
And Paul Cagliari, we had him on last week. What's kind of special about what he's added to the side?
Well, Paul definitely is coming from last year's team. He's one of the only returners with the other guys and brings that experience that he knows what it's like to be at the stage. And, of course, if you have seen Paul play at Kena, just bullying defenders and holding the ball, letting us add numbers into the attack, which is his main strength. And he knows that when this time comes, he has to get even bigger and continue to go at those guys. Yeah.
And obviously, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. There's a match to play tomorrow, but obviously a looming potential rematch with Ventura County, which for years has been one of the top sides in this realm of the USL League 2. You guys beat them here in Tucson a few weeks ago, and probably one of the most exciting matches of the season. What do they do well?
They have a lot of quality player by player on their squad, and of course they have that history as a big club that has been on the league for a few years, and they have done very well. So I think that when it comes out to that game, it's a rivalry here in the Southwest Conference, and we're both teams that have very good players, and they go at each other, and there's so many little things around that game. So it was excited to beat them on July 3rd on our big game, and of course they're not happy the way we ended the season last year, and they want revenge, and we're coming ready if it comes down to Sunday.
Now, you guys are on the road right now. You'll get to Southern California in a few hours. Will you get the guys on the pitch tonight just to get the legs loose from the travel?
Probably no. We'll get there around 7, 8 p.m. We'll just get dinner and let the guys rest. It's not easy to be the whole day on a minivan, and tomorrow the hotel is in front of the beach, so maybe a little bit of a walk or something, and then we should be ready to go.
There you go. Well, best of luck, Sebastian, as the playoff round starts, and we'll look forward to hopefully more soccer next weekend.
That's the plan. Appreciate you guys.
There you go. Sebastian Pineda, he is the head coach of your FC Tucson men's side. He's also an assistant coach over Arizona women's soccer. FC Tucson and Albion FC tomorrow, 4 o'clock. in the first round, the round of 32 USL League 2 playoffs in Ventura, California. Ventura Highway in the sunshine. You remember who sang that one, Cricket? And the days are
America.
longer. Ooh, high five. High five.
You know I work at a classic rock station, right?
Yeah, well, I was hoping that you would know that.
Okay. Took me just a second, though, because we don't play
exactly.
that often, but that is a jam.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite. My wife, she hates The Horse with No Name, though. She's
What,
not
really?
she does not like that song at
Okay.
all. Yeah, I love it. I love all of America's songs.
They're
I grew
good.
up singing those songs in sixth grade music. Our sixth grade music class was like literally we sang like that whole album during class.
Oh, I dig that.
Yeah, that was the kind of music class I liked. I mean, it was like our teacher would just put on different albums and we would just learn the lyrics.
I like that.
That was kind of cool. Absolutely. I hear you've got a sweet deal.
I
LaFlo,
do.
Sweet deal.
Sweet deal, sir. Yes, I think it'll sell out. It's going to be a delicious sweet deal on
Did you
Friday.
know, first of all, speaking of selling out, did you know the last week's sweet deal sold out in 8 minutes?
8 minutes?
8 minutes. The winery.
The Twisted
Union
Yeah.
Winery. 8 minutes it sold out.
Wow, that's impressive.
It was.
So our listeners like to have wine, is what you're saying.
They do like to have wine. I like to have wine. Yes.
Oh,
there we go.
I was like,
there we go.
Where's that music coming from? Good job.
Tell me how long you gonna
stay here, Joe. Yeah. Ventura
Some
Highway.
people say
We'll definitely get flagged for that, but that's okay.
Oopsies.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, by the way, our sweet deal from El Torero, which they've been doing it for almost 70 years, since 1956, right on 4th Avenue, South 4th Avenue.
South 4th.
Yeah, south
Please.
of 22nd.
I was confused earlier this week. I was like, I've never seen this place on 4th Avenue.
Yeah, I was confused as
South
well.
4th.
Yeah, and they are home of the best green corn tamales in town.
Now, nobody's ever had that. Have you?
I have not had their green corn
Okay,
tamales,
all
no.
right.
They do classic patty tacos.
Have you
They
had
do-
that?
No.
No.
No, I haven't been there yet. But this is a good reason
We
to
gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta go.
And it says they have refreshing margaritas, but I looked at their menu. Not only do they have that, but they also sell like pitchers of margaritas.
Oh,
so you upgrade,
that's
get a
bad news.
Good and bad. But that sweet deal from El Torero tomorrow, you pay $25, but you'll get $50 to spend. 8:30 tomorrow morning. Wildcats Radio 1290.com.
All right. El Torero, South 4th Avenue. Green tamales. That sounds like something I got to try. And what was it? A patty?
Classic patty tacos.
Patty tacos.
Yeah.
All right. Is that like a hamburger patty, you think?
I'm going to guess. It
All
just
right,
sounds
in a
different
taco?
and delish.
All right. So
I'll take it.
they're probably wondering, like, we've been around forever, and those people have never been
Never
here.
been here. Almost 70 years.
What is that? We've been here 70 years. What is wrong with them?
I don't get out much.
Who's getting there? Who's telling them where to go for the best Mexican food in town? Clearly not telling us to go to El Torero, but that's where we're going now.
But now.
Sweet deal. Tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. right here at WildcatsRadio1290.com. All right, Cricket, how is the traffic looking out there on a much drier Thursday than we had yesterday morning anyway?
Not too bad. From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. River Road near Campbell, River west of Campbell. That was an earlier collision there at River and Via Entrada. Wilmot and Speedway, that was a vehicle into a pole. And we are seeing some usual slowdowns on westbound Ajo at Mission. A 15% chance of maybe some monsoon action this afternoon. 77 the overnight low, 101 tomorrow, and 96 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
with Alaskan AC service guarantee, will arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right? What the singing people just said. Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing. Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, will arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right?
That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that?
Yes, here, use my earbuds.
Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right? Right. I'm glad we had this meeting. AlaskanAC.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/music. That's ethos.com/music.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or kohls.com for details.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
We pass them on the streets every day. Our homeless neighbors are facing Tucson's brutal summer heat and storms. Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain with Gospel Rescue Mission. That's why we've launched Operation Rescue from the Heat, a safe, cool place, meals, showers, clean clothes, and an invitation to our life-transforming programs. With your support, lives are being saved and dignity is being restored. If you want to help, or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
I know that some of you are not going to like this. In fact, I know some of you are going to hate.
He's the Spitfire of sports smack.
That was your trophy. You knew that, right? I mean, you did know that was an elimination game, right? Because you sure as hell didn't play like it. The hell are they doing? You know what's a better idea than winning at home? Winning right this freaking second. Now what's going to happen? Have a bunch of dopes say, see, Rome, the most overrated guy ever.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
Now what?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Broncos rookies reported to camp Wednesday, and the team got a deal done with their first-round pick, corner Jahdae Barron, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. With Barron's agreement, 31 of 32 first-rounders have signed with their squads, leaving the Bengals' Shamar Stewart as the last of the class unsigned. Meanwhile, the Chargers are the first team to begin full squad training camp practices today. General Manager Joe Ortiz saying running back Najee Harris is likely to start camp on the non-football injury list after suffering what his agent called a superficial eye injury in a fireworks accident. And the Cowboys open training camp next week in Oxnard, with contract talks still looming for pass rusher Micah Parsons, who's entering the final year of his rookie deal. Speaking at his football camp in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Parsons saying he's not worried, quote, "I'm just going to get mine no matter what." This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We've been talking a lot about summer baseball here in southern Arizona this week, mostly as it relates to the youth side. We'll update you on what's happening in the Little League state tournament coming up a little bit later. Rincon was looking to stay alive last night against Red Mountain. There's also semi-professional baseball going on again this summer here in southern Arizona as the Tucson Saguaros are battling in the Pecos League for yet another season. And we're pleased to be joined by the manager of the Tucson Saguaros. His name is Sean McNeil. He has he's old hat now, is Sean McNeil, long-standing manager. The Saguaros went through quite a few managers in their first few years, but Sean has taken over the role and pretty much stayed put now. I believe this is season number 6 for you, Sean, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to say yes, it is actually. Season number 6.
You must really like us here.
No, I do. I mean, summers, they're a little hot, but I enjoy being in Tucson, being from the East Coast and everything. I'm not going to lie. I already talked to my girlfriend. I'm like, I would move to Tucson. I really enjoy it here.
Sean McNeil is he's Philadelphia born and bred, but obviously makes Tucson his home here in the summertime. Second best record in the league so far, leading the Mountain South Division are the Tucson Saguaros at 31-9 so far on the season through 40 games. Another solid squad. Break it down for us, Sean. What has gone well so far for you guys this year?
Honestly, I think we're clicking in all cylinders. You know, we're a team that can definitely hit. I mean, there's been a couple nights where we've been down like maybe 8 runs, and then in 3 innings we tied it up or took the lead.
Wow.
And I would say this year specifically, we have a lot of good arms coming out of the bullpen. So, you know, our starters, they keep us in the game, give us a chance to win. And then when we do take that lead, our bullpen's able to close the door early on. I would say if a team can't score within the first 5 innings, the game's over.
Wow. I mean, that's definitely a great way to go about it. Did you plan to build the bullpen? I mean, did you feel like maybe in past years that was maybe a little bit of a weak spot and you needed to get better in that respect this year? Or is that just kind of how the pieces fell with this particular unit?
I would say that this how the pieces fell this year. I mean, I got real lucky just, you know, going through all of college baseball to find these guys. I mean, the big goal last year or this year was actually to find more power bats, which I actually did the opposite. I found more base stealers, and we just found a different way to win.
So, I mean, so let me kind of break down for me how that works. How many base stealers do you have? Do you have like more than 3-4 guys that can steal bases? So are you doing a lot of double steals, or is that them getting on? Can they run on their own, or are you kind of directing all of that? I'm just looking at some of the numbers. It looks like you got 6 guys, double-digit steals.
Yeah, so I give all the guys green lights as long as they don't get thrown out consistently, right? Because if they're getting thrown out consistently, I think we know they can't steal. But I believe I want to say it's like 5 or 6 guys I have stealing. I mean, 1 through 4 can steal bags, and they'll double steal all day. I believe one of our guys, I think our 4-hole has like 25, maybe 27 stolen bases.
Your cleanup hitter?
This year, and that's our 4-hole.
Wow.
Yeah, our cleanup hitter.
That is unbelievable.
So yeah, we definitely run the bases and cause havoc and put pressure on teams because, like, if we get a single, we'll be in scoring position within a batter or two without even getting a hit.
Sean McNeil joining us. He is the manager of the Tucson Saguaros, first place right now in the South Division of the Mountain South Division in the Pecos League. You got quite a few more, I think, local kids than we've seen in the past on the roster. How did that come to be maybe for this year? Just more guys that were capable of playing at this level, and how did you build those numbers locally?
Yeah, so definitely guys that had, better numbers. I believe some of them just got done college, and like some of my players from last year and that are currently still playing this year, they knew who they were, so they relayed their number to me, and then I ended up talking to them, getting some video, making a decision on inviting them to spring training, and then they did well in spring training and made the team for this year. But it's always nice to get the local kids, just because I guess to put it in my perspective, I'm a big Philadelphia Phillies fan, Philadelphia Eagles fan, and when you get to see a local kid playing for the team that you root for, it's good for the fans. And I never played for the Phillies or the Eagles, but if I got to do that, it means more to me too, and I'm sure it means more to them playing for the Tucson Saguaros growing up here.
Did you go to the Super Bowl?
I wanted to. I watched it. I almost went out in the streets of Philadelphia to celebrate, but I had a little injury which prevented me. But I was there in spirit.
You wouldn't have tried to climb any light poles or anything like that, would you?
No, I'm a little too old for that now. But one of my players might have, just because he is. Actually, two of my players, they're both from Philadelphia, so they might have tried to climb some light poles.
Oh, there you go. That's yeah, you wouldn't catch me doing anything like that. I did make it to Citizens Bank Ballpark for a couple of games last year. The wife and I went out to see the Guardians when they were there last summer. We bought standing room only tickets and stood out in that area out in there in center field. It was a really cool experience to be there for a couple of games last year in Philadelphia. Sean McNeil joining us. He is the manager of the Pecos League's Tucson Saguaros. They are kind of at the tail end of their season, playing a lot of weekends. It seems like you guys are home every weekend. How did you finagle the schedule to where you play on the road during the early part of the week and get to play at home every weekend?
I'm not sure, but I'm very lucky to have that. Just to be here on the weekend it's nice. I get to just enjoy myself, right? Because there's more things to do in Tucson. And I feel like there's more fans coming out Thursday, Friday, Saturday night to come watch us play. And it's always great when we have a great crowd, especially over the weekend. But yeah, no, I'm very lucky to be able to play on Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So two more home series to go. You guys will be home tonight. First game of a 3-game series against Roswell. All 3 games are at 7 o'clock tonight, Friday night, and Saturday night over at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. And then next week, the club will be home as well for 3 more, the final 3 games of the regular season at home next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night as well. And I mentioned Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. You guys have been there now for a few years. Has that kind of made it easier for you? Because you guys obviously bounced around different fields for a number of years. You guys were playing at Cherry. You were over at Reed Park. We were at Amphi for a little while. But now you guys have kind of solidified back there at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. Has that made it easier for the club to have that bigger venue and that more steady venue?
Yeah, no, I think as a whole, to get fans to come to the games, players to come play in Tucson, that stadium helps a ton, right? Because Tucson's a baseball town, so playing at Reed Park, playing in at Cherry Field, playing at Amphi, they're all great places to play. But Tucson being, like I said, a baseball town where they had the Tucson Toros, they had the Tucson Padres, the fans deserve to watch us play in Keno Stadium. And then on top of that, just finding players, right? I can just mention like, oh, hey, this is the same field Randy Johnson killed the bird. They get all excited, and they're like, hey, I want to come to spring training if you're giving me the invite.
Oh, man, that still plays with people, huh?
Oh, you have no idea. I drop it every time.
13-4 at home so far this season are the Tucson Saguaros. Head on out and check them out tonight, Friday, and Saturday at the stadium against the Roswell Invaders. It's a fun brand of baseball for sure. Hey, Sean, appreciate you joining us as always. Great to have you back in town for another season. Looking forward to a championship. Let's go out and win this championship again.
No, 100%. I would love to win it again. We fell a little short last year. The first time we didn't go to the championship, but things change, and now I definitely plan to make a comeback and win the championship for sure this year, especially with this team. It's very talented, very good, and honestly, I don't think anybody can stop us.
Any good promotions going on this weekend for the fans if they're coming out?
So I know tonight is Harry Potter night. I know there's a few other nights as well, but I believe Thursday night is also Thirsty Thursdays, where it's $2 beer night.
Oh, Thirsty Thursday. That's a number one reason to get out to the ballpark tonight.
Yes, and I think it just dawned on me too. I believe either Friday or Saturday is college night.
Okay.
So if any U of A students want to come out, they sure can. Rep U of A, rep Tucson, the Saguaros, and but yeah, tonight is I believe Thirsty Thursday.
All right, Thirsty Thursday out at the ballpark, 7:00 first pitch. Sean, best of luck.
Thank you.
Sean McNeil, the manager for the Tucson Saguaros, champions in 20 and 21. Those were Sean's first 2 years here. They won the title. Got to the championship in 22 and 23, but lost to Roswell in 22, lost to San Rafael in 23, and then eliminated in the divisional round last year. So they were in this championship for 4 consecutive years, trying to get back there and with a pretty good squad. They've already won, I mentioned, 31 games. The franchise record is 51. The first season that they were here, they went 51-14, and they also won the title that year. So the Tucson Saguaros have 3 championships since coming here to Tucson.
I think personally I'd probably go with Willie Mays Hayes over bird killing Randy Johnson as the pitch. But
Willie Mays Hayes.
Oh, yeah.
Major League. All right, cricket is getting you home. We will have your BetMGM Network top play straight ahead. Cricket every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported Snyder near Houghton, west of Houghton on Snyder. Wilmot and Speedway, earlier vehicle into a pole. River Road west of Campbell at River and via Entrada, crash that's clearing. There's a slight chance, 15% chance of some showers this afternoon into the evening. 77 the overnight low, 101 tomorrow, and 95 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal. Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal is here with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich and small Fuego fries inspired by Takis Fuego chips with a 1-ounce Takis Fuego bag and a drink. Grab yours today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's while supplies last. Takis and Fuego are used under license.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
7-7 bottom of the ninth. Wildcats would love to end it right here.
As the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
2-2, and it's lined to left for a base hit. Bryfogel's going to be waved around third. Here comes the throw from Hartman. It's headed home. He slides. He's safe, and the Wildcats have won it. Mikalakis, RBI single.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you? And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best deal, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
We pass them on the streets every day. Our homeless neighbors are facing Tucson's brutal summer heat and storms. Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain with Gospel Rescue Mission. That's why we've launched Operation Rescue from the Heat, a safe, cool place, meals, showers, clean clothes, and an invitation to our life-transforming programs. With your support, lives are being saved and dignity is being restored. If you want to help, or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1-ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's July and we're celebrating Independence Day all month. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants to buy your old air conditioning unit. For the month of July, we will buy back your old AC unit for $1,776 with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning system. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturerockschooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
This is Bill Ryder of the Sports Minute, sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Arch Manning is the biggest name in football this upcoming season, and his debut for Texas as the designated starter will tell us a lot about his future. And our guy Joe Theismann on the show told us what to expect.
I watched some tape on him, and he reminds me of Peyton so much. Just the mannerisms, and Eli. I mean, he has a little bit of his uncles in him all the way around.
I'm Bill Ryder.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1-ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We laid our money on Paige Beckers to score more than 20 points last night.
Nice job, Quinterly keeping it alive. Becker's left open, got the first hoop.
Best passers in this league.
Nice pass by Isha Hines Allen to Paige Beckers.
You always want players who have won. They understand what that's like.
Paige with the three. Jones. Paige. Jones sets a mean pick to the hole. Count it. Here's Paige. Baseline. Floater got it.
That three you hit, you heard Paige Beckers hit there. The only three she hit last night, she was 1 of 5, 9 of 24 from the field, so 24 shots she took, 1 of 2 from the line. We had Paige Beckers over 20 points. She scored 20 points. So that's a push. Right on the line. 20 points last night for Paige Beckers. They lost that game, by the way, the Las Vegas Aces by a score of 90-86, thanks to Asia Wilson, who scored 37 points for the two-time WNBA champions in the final game before the All-Star break. So we had that. We pushed on that, but we did win on the New York Liberty over the Indiana Fever with no Caitlin Clark. We had the Liberty minus 9.5, so over 9.5 on the Fever, and they won that game by 21 points. So we did pick up a win there, which is good. So now we're back under $200 in the hole. We've won 3 in a row now.
Woohoo!
5 in a row, actually. I think we've won 5 in a row now.
Starting to get that money back slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
I think if the bet was Asia Wilson over 20 points, you probably would have taken that.
Yeah. Well, well, the thing was the Paige Beckers, the line at BetMGM was 17.5, but you can't get that. You couldn't get that line at Desert Diamond Casino. It's only 15 or 20. So we took the 20 to get a plus bet. We could have taken the 15 and won money on it, but we took the 20 to get the plus bet. So we pushed on it and didn't take home $18.
Last year's WNBA leading scorer, Asia Wilson.
There you go. There you go. And she'll be at the All-Star game. We mentioned earlier that Satu Sabali will not be at the All-Star game, but she, on her Instagram account earlier, made this post. Unfortunately, my body still needs more time to heal. I won't be able to don the jersey and play this weekend. I'm naturally disappointed, but I want to make sure I do everything possible to be healthy after the break and give my organization and X Factor, that's what they call the Mercury fans, are known as the X Factor, give the Mercury and the X Factor everything I can as we compete to achieve our team's goals.
Satu Sabali, the 6th leading scorer in WNBA this year, and since we're talking about it, Paige Beckers, 8th currently in WNBA in scoring.
Paige Beckers will be at the All-Star game this weekend in Indianapolis. Let's hear from her on her first year and first selection.
It feels surreal to be in this position. Everything that's happened within the last year, I've just been extremely grateful for, feeling extremely blessed to be here with the best players in the league. Just trying to soak it all in and enjoy it as much as I can.
So the show will go on, Sons. Caitlin Clark will be there. She just will not be participating, but I'm sure she'll be at all of the events. Here is what Caitlin Clark had to say today. She released a memo on the Indiana Fevers, through the Indiana Fevers. I'm so excited for Indy to host WNBA All-Star Weekend. I want to thank the Indianapolis Host Committee and all of the people that have put endless work in over the past year to put this event together. I know this will be the best All-Star yet. I am incredibly sad and disappointed to say I can't not participate in the three-point contest or the All-Star game. I have to rest my body. I will still be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for all the action. I'm looking forward to helping Sandy coach our team to a win. She is a captain, is Caitlin Clark. Can't wait to see you all out there this weekend. That from Caitlin Clark this week. So unfortunately she can't play, but again, she will be there to help usher in the festivities this weekend. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the show. What do we have for you? No games. We don't have any games today. So what do the folks at BetMGM Network have in store for us?
Hola, amigos! Brad Evans here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. With the All-Star Game of the books and the trade deadline on the rise, and I am looking ahead on the final months of the season. The Cubs have put themselves in a prime position to be buyers and add to what is already one of the best rosters in baseball. The Cubs are plus 550 to win the NL pennant, and I will sledgehammer that all the way to the bank. Hashtag Team Huevos. Bet smarter or beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, Brad Evans says the Cubs to win the National League pennant. I was there 2 weeks ago and saw that team play, and they're very good. Now, I don't know if they're good enough to beat the Dodgers as they are currently constructed, but they're good.
Real quick, can we get that guy a cup of coffee? Because I think he needs a little bit more energy.
Yeah, a little bit more energy. No, the Cubs are not going to beat the Dodgers. I don't know if this Cubs team, for as young as they are, beats a Phillies squad that has a lot of veteran leadership and knows how to win in the postseason. Because when you look at the way the National League is measured up right now, that would likely be one of the Cubs' first matchups that they have before they get to the NL Championship game. I don't know if the Cubs beat the Phillies. I know for sure they're probably going to be looking up at the Dodgers, but when it's all said and done. But I think saying that the Cubs are a slam dunk to represent the National League in the World Series, that's a little bit of a stretch for me.
Brad Evans has been on the Cubs. He's been on that, and I think he's a Cubs fan because he's been on them all season long. He's got Kyle Tucker as the MVP, which, again, Kyle Tucker's having a great year, but he's not going to beat out Shohei Ohtani for MVP. Let's not get crazy.
You still have to look at the Cubs. They could potentially lose the NL Central depending what the Brewers do here in the second half, because that's a team, if anybody in the National League is going to be buyers, I would think it has to be the Brewers if they really want to go all in on a potential championship run with the core that they have.
Brewers right now are one game behind the Cubs. The Cubs are 57-39. The Brewers are 56-40. They have won 7 games in a row, Milwaukee. Milwaukee entered the break as the hottest team in baseball with 7 consecutive wins. Now, the Cubs right now at the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook are 3rd favorite to win the National League pennant. The Dodgers, of course, are number 1 at plus 110. So you can get plus money right now on any of these teams. Plus 110 if you take the Dodgers right now. Plus 450 if you take the Philadelphia Phillies right now. And in the update there at BetMGM, it was plus 550, but at the Desert Diamond Casino right now, it's plus 650 to take the Cubs to win the National League pennant. So you've got 3+ bets there, depending on who you like to win the National League championship. Now, on the American League side, we also got today the Tigers to win the American League championship. The Tigers are the favorite right now to win the American League championship at the Desert Diamond Casino Hotel at plus 250. Do you like the Tigers right now to win the American League pennant?
You know what? Considering there is a lack of a front runner in the American League this year, I almost want to say that, yeah, the Tigers are probably your favorite, but that's just because I don't trust the Yankees, I don't trust the Red Sox, and I certainly don't trust the Astros right now, because the AL West is basically, whoever happens to be standing at the end of it, they're going to win the division. It's whoever shows up to the party last that happens to win it. So I would say the Tigers are probably your go-to there if you're going to pick a team in the AL to represent the league in the World Series.
You know, there's only 6 teams over 500 in the AL right now, and all of them are in the East. Blue Jays, Yankees, Red Sox, and Rays are all over 500. And the Central, only one team. Tigers, the only team over 500. And same with the West, Houston Astros and Mariners.
Well, so
those 2 teams.
Yeah. Your hot team right now, though, is the Boston Red Sox. 10 consecutive wins heading into the All-Star break to climb themselves out of the hole. And they are now just 3 games behind the Blue Jays, who are the front runners in the East, 2 games in front of the Yankees. The Red Sox 1 game behind their rivals. They both have the same amount of wins at 53. The Red Sox have 2 more losses. Right now, you've got the Tigers at plus 250, the Yankees at plus 280, Houston at plus 400. Those are your top 3 in the American League.
What was the bet this morning on how many 3-pointers Carter Bryant would hit?
Ooh,
I'm wondering.
2.
Since he hadn't really
and he's hit how many?
shot very well.
Yeah.
He started 3 for 4. I'd have to go check, but he had been struggling from the field. But they're playing right now versus Charlotte, and both teams are undefeated. Currently, Charlotte has a bit of a lead. They've stretched a bit of a lead. But, yeah, Carter started out really hot. He was 4 for 5, 3 for 4 from 3.
There you go. Carter Bryant getting some shots up in this game after struggling with his offense, but shining at the defensive end. DK on the sports tip, 5 o'clock hour. We'll dive into American men's tennis. Gil Gross from the Tennis Channel is going to join us right now. It is Dragon Ball with everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona and around the world.
Well, you heard us talking about the Summer League. Let's look back on a couple of games that happened earlier today with some Wildcats involved. The Miami Heat went ahead and decided to rest Pella Larson and Kashad Johnson, but Umar Ballo did get some minutes there, managing to go onto the court here as a backup center for the team. 15 minutes, 9 points with 6 rebounds, although the Heat did end up losing to Detroit in that contest. And then looking again, the Spurs and the Hornets, both teams undefeated. Carter Bryant not doing too badly from beyond the arc right now, going 4 for 6 on the field, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc with 11 points to match his new jersey number there with the Spurs, but Spurs down by over 20 points there going into halftime. Later on today, we'll look to see if Caleb Love will suit up for the Blazers. They go up against the winless Rockets. And 6 p.m., the Lakers and Christian Koloko, who got the start for the Lakers in their last Summer League game, going up against the Celtics. Diamondbacks will be returning for the second half of the season on Friday, but they have a special event coming up this next Tuesday. They announced that the game on the 22nd against the Astros will be U of A night, with a number of football players from this year's Wildcat squad being in attendance for fans to go ahead and meet them. If you're planning on making a trip up to Phoenix before the summer break is over, parents, go ahead and try to make it out for the 22nd. And following the recent news coming out of the NBA, we do have reports. There is a return in the works for the Blazers and Portland Star and one of their beloved sons, Damian Lillard, returning
Good story.
to the Blazers here on a 3-year, $42 million deal. Again, the 9-time All-Star returning after spending his first 11 seasons with the squad, and that also includes a player option for the 27-28 season and a full no-trade clause. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported 22nd Street and Pantano Road. Congress at I-10, reported on Congress at I-10. Snyder west of Houghton, also collision River Road west of Campbell. And I'm Cricket, and your weather, 15% chance of rain this afternoon, 77 the low, 101 tomorrow, 95 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside your Macy's store. And right now, you'll find the latest summer styles all for under $25. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. So don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy, we live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one, He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
Arizona's free safety position has a new name, the Bear.
A little ferocious name.
But it's going to be intercepted by Arizona. Genesis Smith.
Bear down with Genesis Smith and the Cats all season long. Right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Declare your independence from car payments and save big now at Royal Buick GMC. Make no payments until 2026 on all remaining 25 Buick Encore GXs or the new 26 GMC Terrain Elevation Edition. Say goodbye to taxes and fees when you lease a new 25 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab for $599 a month for 36 months or a new 24 Buick Envision Avenir for $399 a month for 24 months. Save big on a new 25 GMC Sierra 2500 HD Pro 4x4 starting at $44,698. OAC must lease or finance with GM Financial. Must qualify for 120-day payment deferment. No security deposit. Lease mileage charge of 20 cents per mile or 10,000 miles per year. See dealer for details. G8895, B33984, G8755, B33843, G8808. Offers end 8/4/25. Declare your independence from car payments and save big at Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We had a chance to chat with a couple of Wildcats today. They'll be coming back after shining on the court last year. You'll remember the things that Anthony Dell'Orso and Jayden Bradley did.
Bradley drives it into the paint. His jumper is up from there. It rolls and it goes.
Jayden Bradley's size and ability to drive it to the lane, stop and pop could be important tonight.
Left corner, Dell'Orso steps right, shoots the three and hits another. Delly back-to-back triples.
Making a positive impact, Brian.
Yeah, your guards coming back. Jayden Bradley at the point, Anthony Dell'Orso at the shooting guard position will be two of the veterans that will be helping to lead a young Wildcat club into this 25-26 season. Let's hear from him. Anthony Dell'Orso starts off talking about he went home to Australia down under earlier this summer.
Anthony, what's your summer update? Have you been back in Australia or spending the summer here? How's it going?
Yeah, I went back home for just over 3 weeks, probably about a month ago. It was great. I mean, I loved it, apart from it being winter. That was the only thing I didn't like, but seeing family, seeing friends again. Obviously, I hadn't been home in 2 years, so it was great to get back and kind of see my people again.
When we talked to Tommy about a month ago, he had mentioned that the two of you, as well as Tobe and Mo, had indicated pretty quickly that you wanted to come back and wanted to get that settled. Why did you know that right away, that you both wanted to come back here?
I love what, Coach Lloyd and, the staff and, the program's all about. And, I feel like I definitely want to finish out my senior year here. I wouldn't want to do it anywhere else. And I feel like they're going to help me, achieve my goals at the next level. And, starting here, Coach Lloyd, we got our whole staff back, some key players, some new guys. And so we're all going to help each other, achieve our goals.
What did each of you guys learn from last year's season moving forward? First timer, now a veteran.
I mean, for me, obviously, like you said, first time I come from a mid-major level is a, huge eye opener. You get pretty new with it pretty fast. It hits you pretty quick. Body-wise, strength-wise, athletically, it's just a different ball game from the mid-major level. But like Jayden said, like coming back, that's a big reason I want to come back. I understand it more now. The knowledge is there. You have those past experiences that make you want to change and make you want to get better. So that I just kind of taken the knowledge I took from last year and the experiences through all our games and kind of bring it into this year.
Anthony, what are maybe one of the two things that you're working on this summer to be better next year?
My body for sure is one of them. That's something I've really focused on pretty much since we lost to Duke last year. That's from the get-go. No time off, just went straight to that. That's always going to be an ongoing process, but so far it's going great. Something else, I mean, you're always just fine-tuning things, you know. Defensively, you're always thinking, you know, I can do this, I can do that. Offensive, I can do this, and I can do that. But for sure, my body's the number one thing.
Just following up on that previous question, your thought process this spring and decision to come back, do you consider anything else? Transfer, pros, et cetera, whatever?
No, I was pretty heavily, you know, wanting to come back pretty quickly. Like you said, I just thought that with what I experienced last year, the way Tommy kind of recruited me, the way we had talked about like the process and what you want to achieve, you know, later in your career, he could really help me with those things. And, you know, with certain guys kind of leaving, new guys coming in, I could see the foundation was already there, especially the guys like JB come back, Tobe, Krivas, kind of set that tone for me to, like, I can step right in to something I already know with coaches I already trust, and I can just build on what I already did.
Either of you met Koa Pete, and did you follow what he and Coach Lloyd did over the summer internationally?
Yeah, I actually tuned in to some of the games while we were on break. You know, Koa was dominating over there, you know, with the best of the best, and I mean, you know, I don't expect anything, you know, less for Koa. You know, I asked him about the trip. You know, he liked it, and, you know, he said it was a long trip for sure. You know, excited for him, Coach Lloyd, and, you know, the rest of the guys that were on the staff to get the gold. You know, excited for him to get back with the team, and so we can continue to grow as one.
Just to go back to the question, what did you learn last year to moving forward for this coming year yourself?
Personally, you know, just got to be more consistent, you know, with my game. You know, as a team, you know, defense, you know, with these summer workouts, we've been harping on defense and, you know, good offense. And I feel like, you know, throughout the year, last year, we kind of had our ups and downs, you know, shooting-wise and defensive-wise. So, you know, kind of staying consistent, you know, the whole year. You know, it's not going to be perfect, but, you know, the defense is something that can be consistent throughout the year. And, you know, shooting is going to be up, going to be down, but, you know, hang our hat on the defense end.
Jayden, just to follow on Koa Pete, how much have you been in the gym with him? What does he look like to you as a player?
Yeah, you know, he's always in the gym. You know, hats off to him. He always wants to get better. You know, very strong, physical guy. You know, he has some crazy dunks already. Athletic on the defensive end. You know, big presence, and, you know, excited to see what he can really do when, you know, you really get up and down versus, you know, other opponents.
Even though you had agreed to come back and sign a rev shirt or whatever, what was that process like? You were in the draft pool again this year, which you were last year. Was it different this time around? Did you learn anything? What was that experience like?
Yeah, actually, my name was in there, but, you know, I talked to some of the people, and, you know, I decided I didn't do any of the workouts or, you know, anything. So, you know, once I talked to Coach Lloyd and everybody and, you know, was fully committed to coming back, you know, I pulled my name out of it, and, you know, I was just, you know, working to get better within the offense, you know, just in the summer, you know, working on stuff that we're going to translate to, you know, Arizona basketball.
What does it feel like for both of you guys, just this whole rev share era, now that school's actually, you know, they're actually paying you directly? You already had NIL deals and all that, but is it different this time around? Does it feel different era, whatever, or same as far as, you know, how it affects you?
Not really to me. I mean, I feel like we just put basketball first and kind of let, you know, who we trust to, like, take care of that. At the end of the day, I show up, I lift, I practice, we get extra shots up, we hang out. Life's pretty much the same. These all extra rules are for other people to deal with.
Well, does it matter in the sense that you guys you sign the deal and you know you're coming? It seems like maybe a little more certainty this way, that you know what you're expecting and they know what, you know. Because you guys both signed, in April, pretty early, right?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to, like, the trust. Like, I don't think anyone ever thinks that what you talk about is not going to happen when you trust someone. Like, you believe what they say, you believe that they're going to hold up their end, and you hold up your end by, like, showing up, by working out, by putting extra time in, and that's all I can do. And then the rest is kind of up to, you know, fate. Like, it's whether you trust them or you don't. And if I didn't, I wouldn't have come back. So that's a big reason why I did come back, because I trust these guys.
Have you talked about your body? How you must have gained some weight, maybe some strength.
Yeah, I've gained. I want to say 25 pounds at least. I'm, you know, still soaring up, still trying to lift weights, still getting bigger. It's always a work in progress, like I said before, but that's been the big focus. I mean, me and Coach Rounds have been in the weight room a bunch, you know, different things, different eating styles and lifting weights, and it's something I've really focused on. So got a little bit to go, but for sure I'll put on.
Last year, being undersized or whatever, less skinnier, and played against people at this level.
It's eye-opening. It's also because, I mean, you play games and you play certain types of matchups, and some guys are quicker, some guys are bigger, some guys are taller, and you just kind of adapt. And I didn't think that I was too far behind it, and that's kind of encouraging in a way because you're right there, and with the thought of, hey, I got an off-season coming up, I got all this time to get ready, and now that the results are kind of showing, now it's like, okay, I can really, instead of just surviving now, I can really dominate this thing with that extra weight.
You guys had a player that was coming back from injury in Henry Vesar. This year, Krivas is kind of doing the same, kind of working his way back. What have you guys seen out of him throughout that process? How is his health coming along and just preparation for the season?
Krivas is, he's a warrior. That injury is not easy, not playing, but he's been doing a great job with J-Rock and, other people he's working with doing his treatment. We saw him back on the court. He's looking like he never skipped a step, dominant. And, we're excited for him to get a full season with us.
Well, you guys, kind of were leaders last year. Does it change this year? Are you more so that way? Or are you doing different things the way you approach, kind of being the veterans in this team?
None of the stuff kind of really changes. Missing some key guys that were leaders last year, but we definitely changed some little stuff because obviously we didn't get as far as we hoped to. So you got to make minor little adjustments, little tweaks. But we got to me, Deli, Tobe, Krivas. We've been in this program, so we really got to step up, speak up. But I feel like with this program, everybody has a voice. Even if it's a freshman, when they're talking, everybody's going to have eyes on them, listening. We all respect one another, so.
When compared to where you were at this point last year, seeing all these new guys that are here in the program, most of which are freshmen, do you kind of see something in them that newness of being here and that you are able to give them an idea of what to expect?
Yeah, there's always growing pains with anyone. It doesn't matter how good you are, but that's where we kind of come in as guys that have been in the program. We can kind of help. I can give my kind of 2 cents on what I went through and things that I'm seeing, maybe ways that coach explained it. I can find a way to say it a different way that may get through to them. And I think that just comes down to the 4 of us who did come back. We can really use our experience to kind of help them. And they're also eager to learn. That's the number one thing. If you have to be willing to be coachable, and these guys are great at that. They're willing to take information like no tomorrow. So it's promising signs, and they're obviously off to a good start.
Can you talk about the schedule? Last year was very good. This year it's even better. Just your thoughts on playing that schedule.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Play the best of the best. Right away. We got a tough game out the gate. That's what we preparing for. But if it starts in practice, so we'll keep building, working on ourselves first, and when it gets closer to that date, we'll start preparing, getting our scouting report, and getting all that together. But right now, working on finding each other, finding how we can play with each other, and connecting that bond.
Is it the same type of reaction for you guys in terms of when you look at the schedule and you start to see the teams pop up, like when you saw Florida pop up, and for everybody out here was like, oh wow. Is it the same type of reaction for the players as well when you see that?
Not for sure. You definitely, everything. We watched the national championship, and the last thing you can remember is Florida. They won it all, and a great team. They got a great coaching staff over there. So we're excited to play the former national championship team, and see how we can match up, and we want to come out with that win for sure.
You're a player that is familiar coming from overseas to the U.S. and playing in college basketball. You guys have 3 freshmen coming in that are doing the same thing. What would your biggest advice be for them as they transition to basketball in America?
Yeah, I would just say, keep working hard, obviously. There's going to be times where you don't want to keep playing. You want to kind of go home, or you want to kind of give in a little bit, and you can't. You just got to keep kind of pushing. You got to trust that the people you chose to, come play for, that they have your best interest, and that when you practice, you're really going 100%, wanting to get better. It may take longer than you expected, but you can't give in to that unfortunate feelings or whatever you have in the moment.
Anthony, you talked about going back to Australia for the summer, part of the summer. What's your favorite thing to do there? What's that one thing, as soon as you get back, I got to go do this?
Most of it's eating, to be honest. I love going home. There's so much different food that I find I can't get all the time here. So I do that. my family loves to golf. We go out and hit the course a little bit. Just enjoy family time, see friends that I haven't seen in, a few years, go kick the footy, stuff like that. Just small things that kind of remind you of your kind of upbringing. I love doing that for the last.
What's the favorite food?
I love Greek food. I like all types of food, to be honest, but Greek's up there for sure.
For either of you, and Tom's kind of mentioned it before, this freshman class seems to be better or bigger physically than maybe your average freshman. Have you noticed that in summer workouts, just the strength and the physicality of the newcomers?
Yeah, I don't know, what they feeding these guys nowadays, these freshmen, but, they coming in bigger, stronger. Some of them haven't even touched the weight, in high school, but, they coming in, Braden, Koa, Dwayne, Bryce, all these guys, even the newcomers from overseas players. So, excited to play with all these guys and, really see their full potential once they, rounds get a hold of them. And Coach Lloyd and everybody else really get a hold of them. So excited to see, they really can become.
Jayden.
Yeah, got to go kick that footy. Anthony Dell'Orso, and he likes that Greek food. We'll have to make sure he has a good Greek restaurant here. What's the best Greek restaurant here in Southern Arizona? And in fact, we'll take your thoughts on that. Like we got to get Deli a great Greek restaurant here. I know there was the one right there on the corner of 4th Avenue. I don't know if that one's still there anymore. I spent a New Year's Eve there one time. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We need Greek restaurants for Deli for sure here. He's a soccer fan. I should have followed up on what his favorite soccer team was. He likes to kick the footy.
Love a good tzatziki sauce.
Tzatziki sauce. Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. We'll hear more from the guys coming up in the next half hour before we get out of here today. We're going to talk some tennis, though. Gil Gross from Tennis Channel is going to join us next. We'll try to figure out what's going on with American men's tennis, as we've been trying to figure that out now for the last 2 years or so. DK on the sports tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Some slowing on westbound Ajo Way approaching and passing Mission Road. Collisions reported 22nd and Pantano Road and 22nd Street. And also Congress and I-10 reported on Congress at I-10. There is a 15% chance of showers into this evening, 77 the low, 101 tomorrow and 94 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Payday. Hardworking people need a hardworking candy bar. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is definitely working hard for you. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you. And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best deal, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 5-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Bring on back to school with on-trend styles at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. We'd like to salute U.S. soccer great Tobin Heath, who announced her retirement last week. Heath won 2 World Cups and 2 Olympic gold medals over the course of a 13-year career with the women's national team. She is also a 2-time NWSL champion with the Portland Thorns and a 3-time NCAA champion with the University of North Carolina. In 2022, she suffered what turned out to be a career-ending knee injury. Widely regarded as one of the most technically creative players of her generation, Heath has dedicated her life to the sport she loves.
At 4 years old, I kicked a soccer ball, and it's like this magic happened where it was like, that's what I knew I was supposed to be doing. There was no person, there was no thing, it was just this ball, you know, and yeah, it allowed me to be me.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Olivia Harlan-Decker on Westwood One.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on home and auto insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your house sitter has the new code first, before leaving for vacation.
System lockout.
But that's the code!
Contacting authority.
I'm out of here.
Oh, seriously, the car too?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a home and auto bundle that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, our question of the day today is this. What will happen first? A Canadian city will win a Stanley Cup championship. That has not happened since the early 90s. A U.S.-born male will win a major tennis championship. That hasn't happened since the early part of this century. Right now, 100% of the people voting in our poll at Wildcats or at Wildcats 1290 on Twitter, head on over there right now. You can vote in the poll. 100% of the people saying that Canada will win a Stanley Cup before a United States male will win a major tennis championship.
I mean, they've been so close the last couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm. They have been. Edmonton got there. Looked like they might get it done. Didn't happen. Let's talk about where we are in American men's tennis. We had this conversation with Gil Gross. Oh, we lost him. We are going to chat with Gil Gross from Tennis Channel. We'll see if we can get him back on the line here. He was there, and then he dropped, as so happens. But yeah, head on over to Twitter right now at Wildcats1290, at Wildcats1290. and you can vote in our poll. Right now, Canada winning 100% in that poll. All right, let's talk to Gil Gross about this. He covers tennis at the Tennis Channel. Gil, we had this conversation with you 2 years ago. I want to go back to 3 weeks ago because my wife and I were on our way to Chicago, and we were in the airport in Denver having our first vacation cocktail at 8 o'clock in the morning because that's what we do. And we're watching Taylor Fritz's first round match, and he was down 2-0, and I'm thinking to myself, this is our best chance, and this thing's just started, and he's already down 2 sets. He miraculously, though, came back and beat the Frenchman in 5 sets, and that kind of set him on the pace for a good tournament. I mean, good performance, got to the semifinals, which, again, that we haven't necessarily seen that a lot lately. An American male getting to the semifinals. So let's start there. What were your thoughts on Taylor's performance, getting down early in that first match, but then bouncing back and getting on a run to get to the semifinal against Carlos Alcaraz?
It's remarkable how small the margins are in this sport sometimes, right, PK? And thanks for having me on again. Taylor was playing, it should be noted, the best server in the sport. Yeah. And he doesn't do a lot of other things very well, but he serves great. And what ends up happening is the margins shrink because everybody's holding serve, and then they go to tie breaks, and then it comes down to a couple points. And Pechi Pericard, who was Fritz's opponent in that first round match, just happened to play the couple of points that mattered a lot in the first 2 sets really well. But Taylor rallied back to win. He got a tough draw. You don't want to play Pechi Pericard. Gabriel Diallo, who he played in the second round, was also really tricky. But Taylor had a great, not just Wimbledon, and I know, that people just tune in for the majors for the most part, unless you're a really big tennis fan. But Taylor won 2 tournaments on the grass in the lead up to Wimbledon. So he really plays well on this surface, and it was good to see him make a great run because, honestly, his season up until this last month when they got on the grass was a little bit disappointing.
We're chatting with Gil Gross. He is with the Tennis Channel. Obviously, Ben Shelton also had a good run. I don't know that we've talked much about him in the past. Tell us a little bit about him and what his prospects are. Number 10 player in the world. He also fell to a Sinner, who was the eventual champion. What are Ben's prospects like moving forward?
Well, he's very enticing. There's actually a lot of disagreement, I think, in the tennis spheres of how great he has the potential to be. Some people think he's a future major champion. Others think that he's not quite at that level. And what we've seen in his career thus far is that he's a big-time performer. So throughout the year, Shelton honestly sometimes looks pretty average. But when it comes to the major tournaments in best of 5, especially when he gets some opportunity with the draw opening up, he takes advantage every time. So he really plays his best tennis in the biggest matches against the best players. He was thoroughly outmatched against Jannik Sinner. But at the French, when he played Alcaraz, that was a really encouraging performance. Actually, probably the most encouraged I've ever been after a Ben Shelton match was when he lost to Alcaraz in 4 sets at the French Open, because he played Carlos so tight. And at the end of the day, he's a very explosive player, and that's part of why there's so much excitement around him. He's a huge server. He's got a high-octane forehand, a lot of offensive spunk to his game. There are also some clear weaknesses, and, he holds serve a lot, but he doesn't break serve a lot because of his limitations with his return and his backhand and his movement. But it's tough to say with Shelton because the question is he playing well at these slams? Is that somewhat of a fluke? And who he is the rest of the year is really who he is? Or is the slam performance going to indicate that it's a trend that can continue throughout his career?
Now you mentioned obviously the bigger tournaments, they play 5 sets. They don't play 5 sets at all of the tournaments. Are those types of tournaments? Do those favor certain types of players when you have the 5-set format versus the 3-set format that you have in a lot of the, like you said, the non-major tournaments?
I think they definitely do. There's a couple of different case studies, though. There are some players who might have a fitness issue and they prefer best of three, or they just have a very physical style and they prefer best of three because of endurance. I don't think Shelton would fall into that category, although he's in great shape and he does have excellent endurance. I think for him, it's more he needs the bright lights to focus and concentrate and to value every point and to play with the kind of emotional intensity that makes him perform at his best. And by the way, Francis Tiafoe is the same way.
Yeah.
And for him, I mean, he's a way better player at the U.S. Open than he is at any other tournament. And that's consistent almost really the last 4 years now. Francis has played his best tennis at the U.S. Open. So I think sometimes it's a personality thing and sometimes it's a fitness thing.
So we're joined by Gil Gross, Tennis Channel. Gil, we had this conversation 2 years ago. Where are we right now in American men's tennis? We've run a couple of polls here, and I think you might have heard the first one in the Open. Our question of the day today is whether we're going to win a major anytime soon, or if the Canadians are going to win a Stanley Cup. Or who's going to win one first? Right now, 100% of the people are saying that the Canadians are going to win a Stanley Cup before an American man wins a Grand Slam final. And we ran another one last week after Wimbledon, and 80% of the people voted don't think that the American men are going to win a major before the end of this decade. There's 17 more chances to do that, and most of our voters don't. 80% believe that we're going to go 0 for 17. Do you think that's the case? Do you think we're going to get a major Grand Slam championship from an American male before the end of this decade?
So what's impossible to account for is the 17-year-old who we've never heard of at this point in time. Yes. And they might come onto the scene and change the narrative. So that's something that, again, very difficult for us to account for. But if you're going to ask me, is Fritz over 50% probability? I'd say no. And if you were to ask me if Shelton is above 50% probability, I'd say no. Same thing for, Tiafoe and Tommy Paul, and certainly Sebastian Korda, even Alex Mickelson. So if you look at the guys right now, it's tough with how good Sinner and Alcaraz are. There's a prospect who's looking very promising in Joao Fonseca. He's a little bit younger. There's no Americans at that level of potential, it wouldn't seem. You have Jack Draper, who's a 23-year-old from Great Britain. He's looking like potentially a Sinner Alcaraz rival for the future, although maybe not quite on their level. But it's very tough, I think, for a lot of players on the men's side right now who maybe were hoping, although this maybe wasn't even a realistic hope, we're hoping that when Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic all retired, of course Djokovic is still going, that there would be some kind of big opening, an opportunity. The fact is, Sinner and Alcaraz are both all-time greats. That's apparent right now with how good they are at 22 and 23 years old. And that just makes it really hard to have a ton of hope for anybody else.
And it's interesting. We read there's a Twitter account. I don't know if you follow it at all, but it's a really funny one. It's called Super 70 Sports, and they asked the question earlier this week, what's gone wrong with American men's tennis? And one of the consistent responses was that it has become an elitist sport. But I've always thought it was an elitist sport. I mean, it's always been a sport where maybe the upper echelon of the United States income breadwinners played versus people from the middle class and lower. My question is, if that's the case, if tennis is an elitist sport, then why aren't the elitist kids? Why aren't they able to get to the point to win? Why aren't the kids with the money that can play this sport? How come they can't get there anymore?
Oh, yeah, well, that's a great question. I don't think it's as much about the money. To your point, I think it's always kind of been like that. And in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, the American men always had players at the very top of the game. I think the coaching we've been surpassed in coaching and development on a systematic level. And as the game kind of changed and adapted, and Europe has kind of upped their game, and you have certain nations like Spain and Italy who have had better training programs for their juniors coming up. Now, the USTA got a little bit better with this last generation, where I think they actually did a decent job putting in the pretty good training philosophies and programs in place, but we just haven't had that one player. I think we've seen the benefits in terms of how many top 20 players we have, but we haven't had that one. The other thing is there needs to be more lower level tournaments that give our young juniors opportunities to compete. Lower level professional tournaments. That's the approach that Italy has kind of capitalized on, where there's all of these lower rung events, and then you have all the best players in the country constantly doing battle with each other, and it's created this kind of sharpening iron dynamic where players don't even need to leave the country in order to have that experience. Where in the U.S., if you want to play the best junior tournaments, you're traveling all over the lot, and I think that's a big deterrent. And some players don't get the competition that they need. So I guess that's the answer, but at the same time, you can only do so much in terms of if you're the USTA, right? I mean, there's going to be 4 or 5 human beings who have a chance to win majors at any given moment. That's just the nature of the sport. So you kind of need to have the pieces fall in the right place to have that one.
Okay, Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. What's the best thing you like about each of those players?
Good question. So Sinner, first of all, is like a robot in terms of his emotional control. He is not rattled no matter what happens, whether it be losing a heartbreaking French Open final or blowing a lead in a match, or even anti-doping controversy, or dealing with the pressure of being number one and suddenly having a target on your back. He is so focused, so competitive. Just mentally, he's exactly the person you want to be, your ideal tennis player. And then also, he hits the ball darn hard and doesn't miss a lot. I mean, it's a very simple game that Jannik plays, where his ball striking off of both wings is just enormous. And then Alcaraz is more of a magician. He does things during matches that you just didn't think would be possible until you see them with your own eyes. He is the fastest player in all of tennis. He is the most powerful player in all of tennis, and he has the best soft hands and the finesse in all of tennis. So it is a package of raw ability with Alcaraz that it's basically unlike anything we've ever seen. It's very I don't even know. I was going to try to make a basketball comparison, but sometimes it feels like it's like if Giannis Antetokounmpo shot a 3 like Steph Curry. Like sometimes it's just ridiculous.
You going to be back in Tucson this summer at all?
I will, absolutely.
All right, well, come by studio. We'll have you in studio again like we did last 2 years ago.
Sounds good. Yep, that would be great.
Gil Gross, you can find him on Twitter at @Gil_Gross. He is with the Tennis Channel covering all things tennis. We've got the U.S. Open coming up. One major left to go for this calendar year. Gil, appreciate you as always. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, TK. Talk to you soon.
Gil Gross, Tennis Channel, trying to break down everything that is good and bad right now about American men's tennis. We'll talk about the ladies next time when we get him in studio and go over that. Obviously, we had an American female get to the final. Unfortunately, lost in straight sets. Straight sets love. 6-love, 6-love. That had not happened at Wimbledon in over 114 years. So
sounds like a great movie to me. Is The Magician versus the Robot.
I like that. Yeah. Yes, the robot versus the magician. We should have told Gil's got to get that patented, because that could become how we look. Because these guys are going to be playing each other forever. I think not forever, but at least for the foreseeable future.
I mean,
Alcaraz
is
like
22, right?
Yeah, they're going to be playing in a lot of finals, I think, over the course of the next few years. So the robot versus the magician. I like that. All right. Cricket is getting you home. She's not a robot or a magician. She's just the best there is in traffic every 20 minutes on the 5s.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With collisions that are reported, 29th and Craycroft and 29th Street. Earlier collision, Congress and I-10 on Congress at I-10. Usual backup, southbound La Cholla at Ajo and on westbound Mission, westbound Ajo approaching and passing Mission Road. 15% chance of some monsoon action into this evening, 77 the overnight low, and a 94 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Dragon Ball, if you were going to be given an NIL for NAU, what sport would that have been?
Probably would have had to try it out for at least the Quidditch team.
Quidditch?
No, I bet.
Wow.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
even know what that is. What is Quidditch?
Quidditch is
It's a wizard sport.
It's a
Is that
wizard
card game?
It's kind of like lacrosse on a broomstick with magic.
DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3 right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final day of the MLB All-Star break, but we've got action. I'm Chris Mack here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. 37 days until college football kicks off. There's a team to watch in the SEC. Oklahoma bouncing back this year with John Mateer at quarterback, the Washington State transfer who threw 29 touchdowns last year. Sooners have a stacked defense as well. I've got them to make the college football playoff at a long number, better than 5-1 at BetMGM. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Declare your independence from car payments and save big now at Royal Buick GMC. Make no payments until 2026 on all remaining 25 Buick Encore GXs or the new 26 GMC Terrain Elevation Edition. Say goodbye to taxes and fees when you lease a new 25 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab for $599 a month for 36 months or a new 24 Buick Envision Avenir for $399 a month for 24 months. Save big on a new 25 GMC Sierra 2500 HD Pro 4x4 starting at $44,698. OAC must lease or finance with GM Financial. Must qualify for 120-day payment deferment. No security deposit. Lease mileage charge of 20 cents per mile or 10,000 miles per year. See dealer for details. G8895, B33984, G8755, B33843, G8808. Offers end 8/4/25. Declare your independence from car payments and save big at Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is Sean Levine with a Sports Minute sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Here's my thoughts from baseball's All-Star Game. Don't need to have the players mic'd up the entire game, although Clayton Kershaw is kind of funny. And I love the ABS, the automated ball strike system. It works. It took, one inning for us to realize that it worked? I love it. I think the fans love it. You know who can't love it? Umpires. I'm the sports machine, Sean Levine.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Final segment of our show. Want to update you on a few things going on in Little League Baseball. It is Little League season, as we like to say, and the seniors tournament, seniors regional, West Regional is going on as it always does in Oakland, California. Douglas is playing in that, winners of the state championship. They lost today in their first game up in Oakland by a score of 4-0. So they will fall into the elimination bracket. Will the kids from Douglas, they will play against Oregon in a elimination game at 2 p.m. on Friday. Now, the Rincon Little League, and that is the division that filters into the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. They were in the elimination game last night, needing to win to stay alive in the tournament, going up against Red Mountain. And Rincon beat Red Mountain by a score of 6-3. So they are in another elimination game tonight against Arrowhead out of District 2. So Rincon stays alive. They are now 3-1 in this tournament, 7-1 in the postseason. But they must win again tonight to get to the elimination final. And then they will have a chance potentially to get back into the championship phase. They lost to Arcadia. Arcadia is going to play Goodyear for a chance to advance to the finals tonight. That will also be up in District 4, which is hosting the Little League Championships on the boys' side. So best of luck to both of those teams, Rincon and Douglas, out in Oakland, California. Rincon in the state tournament here, on the Little League side. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Don't forget to download our app. It slaps. It is brought to you by Goodfellas Home Solutions. Everything you need to know about sports here in Southern Arizona and across the nation is right there on our app. So please do download our app so you're not missing out all the play-by-play once we get back into season and everything else. Show your app to our crew when we're out, our 1290 crew. They might be able to tell you how you can win $100. All right. Let's get back out to the players. Today we had a chance to talk to Jayden Bradley as well as Anthony Dell'Orso. So I asked Jayden Bradley about his impressions of one of the freshmen that has arrived on campus, a freshman by the name of Bryce James, the son of LeBron James.
A great kid. Really, once you get to meet him, he's got all these lights and eyes on him, but just a normal kid, wants to, have fun, learn the game, play the game, just a nice person.
There's been a lot of talk of Pete and Bruce in this recruiting class,
but Dwayne's a 5-star kid as well, and it seems like he's kind of gone under the radar compared to the other two. Just your guys' thoughts on him and seeing him work out this summer, just his overall game and style.
Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, you know, this ranking system's a pretty big deal in America, and he obviously got those for a reason. You know, you earned them, and he's just as good as anyone can be. And like I said before, there's always growing pains with new arrivals, and you just got to trust the work. You got to trust that, you know, the coaches have the right path. And then as the season comes, it'll be exciting to see once these guys, like JB said, like once the coaches really get a hold of them in rounds, and they really get inside the program, and it's like we can actually see like what they can really do for Arizona.
Has Elon even here yet? Have you seen him?
Yeah, I think he got here last night. We saw him today the first time. But yeah, seems like a cool kid. But no, he just got here. So.
Jayden, you said something about the way last season ended. I didn't know if you meant like the Duke game in particular or anything else, because you guys were, you know, playing pretty well in the Big 12 tournament and the Oregon game, et cetera. What did you mean by that? And was there something in particular that really motivated you?
I mean, just, you know, we definitely wanted to, you know, hang up a, you know, Big 12, you know, regular season championship or a Big 12 tournament, and you know, get past the Sweet 16, you know, as a program. And you know, I've personally never been past a Sweet 16 before either. So just those little accomplishments, you know, throughout the season, that's definitely, you know, we're not talking about it all the time, but that's something, you know, big picture that we want to, you know, accomplish, you know, just one of the three or not, you know, three out of three for sure.
So it's really early now, and you haven't, like you said, you haven't seen everybody, but like, what do you think, and we talked a little about physicality, et cetera, what do you think early on anyway could be kind of how this team might be different than last year's as far as strengths, weaknesses, et cetera?
I mean, I think we were pretty physical last year, and then you go against a team like Houston and teams that are kind of pride themselves on that physical aspect, and you kind of really see like where you match up. And it's great we got guys returning that kind of have that experience and kind of know what to expect. And then it's great, like you said, the freshmen coming in, also these guys are, you know, big bodies and they haven't even lifted weights yet. So I think it's all just going to take time to kind of fall together, to guys really understand like how they can kind of use their abilities for the benefit of the team. But I mean, it'll be exciting once we start. I mean, I'm not sure on the difference as of now. I think it's too early to say, but it'll be exciting when the season starts.
Jayden, you and Caleb obviously were on the court a ton. Now he's gone, Braden comes in. What's the process of kind of building that chemistry and learning about his game?
You know, just first of all, just learning, you know, just who he is off the court, you know, building that connection so it's, you know, genuine. And then the player he is, you know, the physical, you know, fast guard, can shoot it, get downhill, very athletic. So, you know, just learning his game, getting in the gym with him, and, you know, he's definitely going to be a, you know, vital piece for us, and, you know, excited to see what, you know, he can bring to the table and, you know, things I can learn from him too. So excited.
You guys have, I'm sure, been able to watch maybe a little bit of the summer league, just seeing how Caleb Love is doing and Carter Bryant as well. Just your thoughts of the energy Carter's been bringing in the summer league and the performance that Caleb Love has been able to put out there.
Yeah, I think it's been great for them. I mean, showing what they can do. Obviously for us, I think we saw them all year, so we kind of had a better outlook on, you know, almost least surprised at others. But yeah, I mean, Carter's showing great energy, especially on the defensive end. I mean, he's really, you know, locking guys up and showing his ability to get, you know, move side to side and how athletic he can be. Caleb's obviously one of the best offensive talents that was in college last year, and he's really showing that in the summer league. But I mean, yeah, I couldn't be more proud of those guys, and best of luck to them. But I mean, for me, I'm the least surprised because I saw that all year.
Yeah, no, facts. I just, you know, talked to both of those guys yesterday. You know, I'm definitely happy that, you know, they're doing well. But, you know, like Deli said, we've seen that, you know, all year in practice. You know, I'm just excited they can show the world and, you know, their abilities and their talent, you know, and excited for them to, you know, continue to do well and, you know, see how their, you know, NBA career turns out.
I was wondering, Deli, did you pay any attention to that before the draft? There was so much talk about Carter, why his usage rate was low, why he didn't start, whatever. You were a big part of that because they, you know, Tommy was giving a lot to you because of your experience and ability. But I don't know, and like you said, you saw behind the scenes. Were you kind of surprised by all that chatter that people maybe should have known that Carter was that good, or I don't know, what was your reaction?
To be honest, I didn't really pay attention to that. I didn't see that, so I'm not fully familiar with it. But I guess, you know, we always say that what's in the room with us at practice is all we need. We don't really need anyone else or these outside noise, and people don't know what's going on fully. So, like I said, it goes back to the trust of we trust Tommy, we trust, Murph, all the guys, like what they're deciding to do with certain guys and how they want the team to kind of run the offense or run the defense or whatever it is. That's just what it is, and they have their reasons, and the world doesn't even know their reasons, but people are always going to talk.
You can see Carter definitely translating to that level the way,
Yeah.
Thoughts on Coach Chappelle, just being able to work with him and just a new face in the coaching room there?
Definitely, just a great guy to have around. You can definitely feel his energy when he's there. What some of the coaches, away with the USA basketball stuff, I was, really able to get in the gym with him, see what he's all about. I like the energy he brings and the stuff he does in his workout. So I'm excited what he, brings to the team.
All right, that was Jayden Bradley and Anthony Dell'Orso earlier today, talking about one of the new coaches on the squad this year. And obviously there was a change with the retirement I should say, by Coach Robinson, who stepped down after many years. Brandon Chappell is the new assistant coach that they brought in, and so getting a chance to get to know him a little bit better as he arrives from the University of Texas this year. That's going to wrap up our show for today. I'd like to thank the folks that joined us. Sebastian Pineda, FC Tucson head coach. Sean McNeil, manager of the Tucson Saguaros. Gil Gross from Tennis Channel. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Appreciate you for joining us. And thanks to J.W. Madden, Cricket, and Dragon Ball. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Join us again, 3 o'clock Friday, DK on the Sports Tip, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions Congress at I-10, 29th Street in Craycroft. Slowing on westbound Ajo approaching and passing Mission Road. Slight chance of some showers into this evening. 77 the low, 101 tomorrow, 93 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Listen to Arizona Wildcats play-by-play. Get the latest news on your teams and more, all in one place. Download Wildcats Radio 1290 app from the App Store or Google Play today. Wildcats Radio 1290 app is sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions.
For quality, honesty, and service you can count on, call Goodfellas Home Solutions. Because when you need help around the house, we can fix it. Need a kitchen or bathroom makeover? Dealing with a clogged drain, leaky faucet, or sewer issue? We'll take care of it fast. We handle just about anything under your roof. Goodfellas Home Solutions. GoodfellasAC.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
The countdown to Arizona football is on.
Fires the pass towards the back corner. Touchdown, Arizona. It was Hunter. Yeah, Chris Hunter.
When Chris Hunter and the Cats take the field on August 30th, you'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams July Summer Sale and get 30% off paints and stains July 18th through the 28th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
It is the JR Sport Brief show here on the Infinity Sports Network. Coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you to everybody for being tuned in, for being locked in all over North America. Man, we've been hanging out for a while now. This show gets started every day, every weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Talked about T.J. Watt getting a new deal, staying in Pittsburgh. We talked about Damian Lillard returning to Portland. We talked about Von Miller on his way to D.C. to play for the Commanders. We talked about Caitlin Clark. She out. No WNBA All-Star anything for Caitlin Clark. No three-point contest, no game. She's dealing with a groin issue. And man, we've discussed a lot. And then we got one more hour left. Thank you so much to our guests who came on by. Law Murray, who covers the Clippers for The Athletic. And thank you oh so much to Ben Standig, who covers all things Washington Commanders. If you've missed a minute of the show, go ahead and hit rewind on the free Odyssey app. Thank you to people listening live on their local affiliates, wherever you are.